Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the almost 40-hour journey that was my first full PokeMMO Nuzlocke attempt. Now, I streamed all of this live here on YouTube, so if you want to check out the full journey, you can check out the VODs under the playlist Nuzlocke VODs, linked in the description below. There's very little information, if any, online for routes for a PokeMMO Nuzlocke, so most of this was routed and planned by myself with a ton of preparations and calculations ran before pretty much every fight. I played this Nuzlocke so safe because I knew grinding was going to be so severe for XP and levels. A lost run is going to mean 20 plus hours of progress down the drain. Now, PokeMMO is an MMO obviously, so I can't speed up the game like you could on an emulator or spawn in rare candies like other Nuzlockers might do to speed up progress. I appreciate you guys keeping all that information in mind jumping into this journey. Let's go ahead and jump into the rules that I made for this challenge. Alright, so we have some essential Pokemon Nuzlocke rules here. For example, rule number 1, if a Pokemon dies, it can no longer be used. In this case, if a Pokemon fainted, we put it in a box labeled death in our PC. Only one Pokemon can be caught per route. Really simple Nuzlocke rule, but it does have a little bit of intricacy into it and a bit more complication, especially in a game like PokeMMO, and I'll cover those in a sec. So of course, only one Pokemon can be caught per route, but additionally, single instance Pokemon count as their own unique encounter. Examples of this would be in the Kanto region, which is the region we'll be running through for this example, Eevee, the Magikarp you buy for 500 Pokeyen, and the 2 Snorlaxes you can Pokeflute. Now, we do have another clause that comes into play that prevents us from catching both of those Snorlaxes, but we are allowed to catch one Snorlax for this route. Now, on to rule number 3, even though we're playing an MMO version of Pokemon, we don't want to allow any sort of multiplayer aspects that will make a Nuzlocke too overpowered. So for example, no trading, although trade evolutions are allowed. I think trade evolutions, although are very powerful, are a really cool way of implementing a sort of MMO element of Pokemon into a Nuzlocke that you wouldn't normally be able to do. You can never use things like Alakazam or Golem in a traditional Fire Red Nuzlocke because obviously it's really difficult to trade via emulator or even on a static device. I think having the MMO aspect makes this a lot more capable and a lot more practical, and it actually implements, it makes the run a lot more fun and interesting comparatively to a normal Fire Red Pokemon run. Now, some more multiplayer restrictive, pretty simple rules. No GTL use. If you aren't aware of what the GTL is, it's essentially the auction house in PokeMMO. I'm not allowed to use it to buy, sell, trade any items, any Pokemon, anything. Rule number 5, no links. So for those who don't know, links are essentially groups of 4 people in a Pokemon. It's almost like a party you kind of group up in PokeMMO, and they are essentially used to spread small bonuses such as charm. So shiny charm, XP charm, magnet charm. There's very specific charms that increase a certain thing. So obviously shiny charm increases people who are in the links shiny rate by 5%. XP charm can increase up to, I believe, 50 to 100%. I don't want to be using my viewers or using any sort of links or groups of people to benefit this account. It should be a mostly solo player experience, except for obviously the viewers watching and the trade evolutions. No buying RP. So RP is sort of the IRL in-game money exchange. I could possibly buy RP to buy things like donator status, which would increase my XP gain and my shiny rates, or buying ocarinas to help with HMs. I don't want any of that in this run. That would obviously make things too easy, too casual. Don't want to be able to spend money to progress my in-game progress, obviously. Species clause. So species clause is a pretty popular clause you'll see in Nuzlocke. Essentially, it's if I encounter a Pokemon of the same species, I'm not allowed to recatch it. I have to keep running back and forth on that route and look for a different encounter. It keeps things interesting. You can also use it to manipulate certain encounters. So for example, if I've already caught a Pidgey and a Spearow, and I come to a route that only has 3 possible encounters that are Pidgey, Spearow, and Ekans, I can essentially confirm that 100% Ekans encounter, which I think is a really interesting way to do gameplay. It can be really powerful at times, but it's also really strategic and fun, and I like that. You should be rewarded for that sort of thinking, in my opinion. Species clause also keeps things really balanced. So let's say I were to encounter a really common Pokemon like Magikarp, and my first Magikarp were to be a really bad IVs and really bad nature, it would be unusable, and I wouldn't be able to catch another Magikarp in the run, even when Gyarados is such a powerful Pokemon in a Nuzlocke. Only allowing myself access to one of those risks a certain role, and I think it's really interesting. Like, it essentially gives me an element, it just makes things so much more diverse. Species clause helps your party diversity in just so many different ways, and those are multiple examples of that. Shiny Claws. Now, the shiny rate in PokeMMO is 1 out of 30,000, so I highly doubt this is going to come into play, but Shiny Claws is essentially, if I do encounter a shiny Pokemon, I'm allowed to catch it regardless of any factors, regardless of if I've caught a Pokemon already on that route, or whatever the case may be. I'm always allowed to catch a shiny Pokemon and use it in the run, but it probably won't come into play, but it should be a really fun one if it does. Now, rule number 9 is an interesting one that I kind of came up with on my own. So I don't want to specifically try to EV train. So the rule is can't target EV train. What I mean by this is I'm going to be trying to use the best XP spot at all times, and that is going to involve a lot of sweet sending and horde encounters, but I don't want to go back to early game parts or specific parts of the game trying to get specific EVs on my Pokemon. EVs can just be such an important and powerful statistical tool to give you such a huge advantage in Pokemon storylines, because the NPCs and trainers, even though they're really, really powerful and really difficult in PokeMMO, they're never going to have EVs. They're always going to have perfect 6x31 IVs, but never have any sort of EVs, and it just gives you such a huge statistical advantage. So I never want to, for example, let's say I have an Alakazam. I never want to go back to early game and do Rattata hordes and like make sure I get those speed EVs on my Alakazam to make sure you can outspeed certain things and one-shot them. I want to be able to just overcome those challenges with other things, with items, with gameplay, with teleports, etc., etc. I think making sure you come to your own sort of outs instead of just EV training statistically to get better is a great way to do so. Now, if I happen to get EVs that are obviously really nice on a Pokemon that are helpful, so for example, Tentacles offer a lot of XP in PokeMMO. A lot of the time, I'm probably going to be XP trading a ton on Tentacle. If I were to, Tentacle gives special defense EVs. If I get special defense EVs on something like Alakazam or a Tentacle, that's not bad. It's pretty good, but so like if I get EVs that do benefit a Pokemon, like just by being at the best XP spot, that's okay. I just can't specifically go EV train. Okay, that pretty much wraps up all the important rules. Now, I do want to note really quickly, this isn't a hardcore Nuzlocke. Items are allowed, X items are allowed, and maybe in the future, I'll attempt something like a hardcore Nuzlocke, or attempt something like a Nuzlocke without X items specifically, because obviously, X items are really powerful. This was one of the first, if not the first, recorded PokeMMO Nuzlockes. So I really wanted to do this as a testament to just showing you guys if it was possible. We just didn't know how hard it would be. I thought it would be super hard. It was pretty hard, but I do think we could make it a little harder. And I do think, looking back, we could make a lot of changes. We could either disallow X items or just straight up do the hardcore Nuzlocke. Or we'll try certain things. We'll try different options. But this Nuzlocke today, the one we're going to be covering today, the one that took 40 hours, is not a hardcore Nuzlocke. Items are allowed. X items are allowed. So please don't cry about it too much in the comments. I understand the frustration. I understand people don't like seeing people plow through stuff with X items, but this Nuzlocke is tough. And I think the toughest part about the PokeMMO Nuzlocke is that you'll be crushing. If you calculate everything and you go through everything, like, you can crush it. But the issue is, the moment you make one mistake, you could lose the entire run in a second. I think the PokeMMO Nuzlocke itself is so volatile. It's the most volatile Nuzlocke I've ever played for sure, where you're either hard sweeping or you're losing the entire run. It's just everything can fall apart in a second's notice, so you have to be careful and you have to play smart. Now, if you do have any questions or concerns about these rules, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure you guys have a lot of great feedback and a lot of great questions, and you can let me know what you want to see next. If you want to see, like, next to the next Nuzlocke, no X items, no items, that's okay. Go ahead and let me know. Just do it in a polite manner, and we'll have a great discussion. Thank you guys. I appreciate the cooperativeness. Alright, now some of this video and some of this recording are going to be live clips, just straight up ripped from my stream, and some of it's going to be me post-commentating and recording over it. So from this point on, you'll kind of get a mix. I'm going to go ahead and jump into some live clips though. I really hope you guys enjoy, and make sure to like the video and subscribe if you do enjoy. Alright, good morning everyone. It's officially time to attempt Nuzlockes in PokeMMO. This is going to be attempt number 1 on Nuzlocke Arena. We're here doing it live on YouTube Live. Hopefully you guys enjoy, hopefully you have fun. So my goal is to stream all of this live and then also cut it all up afterwards and put the entire eventually completed Nuzlocke. I doubt I'll be able to do it in one attempt. The eventually completed Nuzlocke into one video for a sort of really nice, clean viewing pleasure. So that's the goal. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Here is attempt number 1 on Nuzlocke Arena. Make a poll for starter. I think I'm going to be starting with Venusaur or Bulbasaur, right? So I think I'm going to be starting with Bulbasaur. I thought about this for a while. People are talking about how important the starter is going to be early game, and I agree. I think the starter will be most important early game, as well as I don't really want to go Blastoise in this run just because water types might be common with fishing and surfing encounters, as well as Shell Smash. Shell Smash is really good in most runs. It's fantastic in most in most PokeMMO storyline runs, but the issue is in a Nuzlocke run, Shell Smash is really, really dangerous. Bulbasaur / Venusaur has access to Giga Drain for sustain. It has access to Sleep Powder. It has access to Sweet Scent for easier farming, which is going to be huge, and like XP training as well, right? It has access to Growth, so we can still like get stat boost, but like not as good as like Shell Smash, but it's less risky. What would you name the Bulbasaur? Oh, we have to name everything. I forgot. Dude, I totally forgot you have to name your Pokemon in the Nuzlocke. Holy shit, I never do that. Your time here. Alright, so you've heard me talk about why I didn't want to pick Blastoise, why I am picking Bulbasaur. I do want to quickly note that the reason I didn't pick Charmander / Charizard is because that Charizard has a 4 times weakness to Rock, which is a pretty common typing and a pretty common attack typing, especially in the Elite Four. There's a lot of Stone Edges being thrown around or Rock Slides in this Region Z4. And I didn't want to risk it. It's Charizard's a decent option, but I feel like fire types are pretty scarce in this region, but I just felt like it was too risky, especially for a first run. I might have tried different options or different things if I did multiple runs of this, but I wanted to play it pretty safe heading in with the Bulbasaur. I also decided to obviously start in the Kanto region, mostly just because it's the region that I understand the most and the region that I know the most personally. There's not really a huge strategic advantage to starting to Kanto. It's really just the storyline and the map that I understand the most. So if you're looking for that answer, there it is. But you go ahead and pick up the Bulbasaur starter and go on to fight our rival and defeat him pretty easily. I remember that I do have to name all my Pokemon throughout this Nuzlocke, and that'll go on to be one of the biggest challenges. I go to name my Bulbasaur Karma because Nameless Karma has been one of the biggest supporters of my channel for a long time, so a huge shout out to him. We do the typical Fire Red start, go ahead and pick up Oak's parcel from the Pokemart. Deliver it to him, grab our 5 Pokeballs, and that's when the Nuzlocke really begins. We head over to our first encounter. My first encounter ends up being a Pidgey, which isn't bad at all. A flying Pokemon, definitely won't be upset about that. Not the best first encounter in terms of battling. Pidgeot becomes pretty irrelevant and falls off pretty quickly, although it does get access to Tailwind in PokeMMO, which is an interesting support move, but I don't believe I go on using it very much throughout this run, but it was a great fly HM friend for a bit. Now, from that point on, I do a little bit of grinding, get 6 wild encounters, not too much, bit of XP on the Bulbasaur, get him up to level 8, and then heal up and start heading over to Route 22 to get a pretty huge encounter here. Now, I'm looking for something like Mankey is probably a really fantastic option. Very fast, very aggressive Pokemon, will also help a ton against Brock. The worst catch here would probably be something like Spearow, just another Pokemon that's weak to rock types, and will probably make me have to do a lot more grinding to be able to take him on. Here's our encounter. We do go ahead and get the Spearow, which is unfortunately the worst option, but really not a big deal in the long term. It shouldn't really affect the strength of the run too much. Just has to make me... I end up having to farm a little more to complete Brock. I named the Spearow Stunfisk by a YouTube member request, and I also just love the Pokemon. Stunfisk is actually my 3rd favorite Pokemon of all time, so I'm a huge fan of the name. Now I'm on Route 2 going for my encounter, and the best option, the best Pokemon that I could get would be Oddish, and I do happen to get it. Quiverdance Blossom is really, really powerful in the PokeMMO storyline, which you can get access to with a Sunstone, and really early on once it evolves to Gloom at around level 21 if I'm not mistaken, as well as Oddish also being a Sweet Scent user, so he can be a utility kind of HM Pokemon just to help you out in the storyline, or be an actual huge threat in that Quiverdance Blossom, so super flexible catch to pick up early on especially. And Oddish is actually going to be a huge tool in taking on that Brock fight, so it ends up even being more relevant at this point specifically in the run. We catch an Oddish with pretty decent IVs overall. Hardy Nature is obviously not great. I name it after Eboja, which is the username of my girlfriend. Little shout out to her, and we continue on the run. At this point, I do realize that my team is double grass poison type and double normal flying type, which is really not great at this point, but it could be worse, especially heading into Brock's gym. But we're definitely looking to pick up a more diverse team as the route continues. We also run into our first implementation of Species Clause in Viridian Forest and end up countering an Oddish and then a Pidgey after. So I have to run around a little bit to get my first encounter here. And then I eventually end up on this Metapod encounter, a level 7 Metapod. And man, if only I knew how good this encounter would end up being and how much this guy would end up carrying me through. Metapod turning into Butterfree ended up being such an overpowered, crucial part of my team early game. I wouldn't have been able to complete this run without you, my friend, and I just have to give a huge salute to the comrade Butterfree. I end up getting level 9 on my Bulbasaur, and I do teach Leech Seed over Growl, as Leech Seed can be a pretty relevant sustain tool, especially at Brock's Gym, or later on around like mid-stages of Pokemon gameplay. I battle through as many trainers as possible in Viridian Forest, and even use growth strategies to be able to sweep through with taking as little damage as possible. I picked up level 12 and Razor Leaf here, which are all going to be important milestones when going on to take on our first gym in Brock. We still have a while to go to him, and I ended up spending a lot of time in Viridian Forest and playing it really safe leading up to it. As I said, PokeMMO Nuzlocke are just really tough. You have to play it really smart and really safe. It can be a little boring at times, which is why I decided to go with this long streaming and then just cutting it down into a little bit of a video. Now, I think this was the first time I brought up the calculator in the run, but I wanted to just go ahead and show it really quickly. I was essentially calculating whether Stab Razor Leaf, being not very effective against Caterpie, would do more damage versus Tackle or not. I ended up going ahead and doing a physical test. I believe Razor Leaf ends up doing slightly more damage, like 1.25% more damage, or not percent, but 1.25 literal base damage. I do a lot of calculations like this throughout the run, either with a physical calculator or with the Pokemon Showdown damage calculator. There's a lot of math involved. It's pretty boring. But if you're a Pokemon nerd like me, it can be pretty exciting at times, and honestly, it's really fun finding those checkpoints and breakpoints to where a certain Pokemon is overcoming certain challenges just by 1 or 2 statistics, especially when it comes to speed ties or speed advantages. Or item usage, which we'll see come into play hugely later in the late parts of the game. Understanding whether to put Metal Coat, Magnet, Mystic Water, whatever the item may be, on which Pokemon for which battle ends up being really crucial and can literally make or break your run, depending on, like, let's say you have a Steel Electric type. Like, depending on whether you want to put the Metal Coat or the Magnet on it to boost either its electric or steel type moves, can be such an important factor on whether you complete that gym battle or not. Now, I went ahead and did a shocking amount of grinding leading up until Brock. My goals were to get my Bulbasaur to level 16 to evolve it into an Ivysaur, and then level up my Metapod into Butterfree. Here my Metapod is level 9. I've been leading my party with Metapod and then switching to Bulbasaur every time, and getting that Butterfree evolution is going to be super huge, but I do have to be really careful with it against Brock, since it's obviously going to be 4 times weak to any sort of rock attack, especially like Rock Tomb coming from Brock, which is his signature move. We're now over an hour and 20 minutes into this run, and we're still grinding for Brock, to give you guys an example of what a monumental time challenge this was. And then we finally do go ahead and get our Butterfree evolution right here. Just a super, look how happy and excited I am. Super crucial evolution for not only Brock, but just for the rest of the early to mid game. Butterfree will definitely fall off really hard late game, but having access to Sleep Powder with Compound Eyes ability, making it a 97.5% accuracy Sleep Powder, is so crucial for so many fights, and is really going to save me when I have to go through multiple fights back to back, like in those early game dungeons like Mount Moon. Now, heading into Brock's gym, I made sure to get level 12 on my Butterfree really quick to get access to Sleep Powder, and I believe my Bulbasaur is to level 15 at the time. So we're pretty close to the Ivysaur evolution, but we don't have it quite yet. I believe that I should be able to get the XP needed to get it to Ivysaur pretty quickly before Brock. Either that, or my thought process was that I wasn't going to get Ivysaur, but I think I do end up getting Ivysaur before Brock. I think taking on this first guy like before Brock really showed me like how careful I need to be and how dangerous this run is going to be. It's actually crazy how many trainers pre the gym leaders were so difficult throughout this run. I ended up preparing and making calculations for a lot of like pre-gym leader trainers, because some of them were even more difficult than the gym leaders at times, but we'll get to those in the time to come. I do go ahead and he misses his Rock Tomb there, which is actually super important for me. Dodging the speed drop on that is super relevant. My strategy here was essentially to get hit by a Rock Tomb. He hit me by the first one. I set up a Leech Seed to be able to sustain, though. The speed dropping isn't going to matter too much. I start setting up growths to set up HP. I'm just going to be slower than anything now, no matter what. I set up one growth, and now I should be able to sweep through the rest of his team, although he actually goes ahead and crits me here. So the crit plus speed drop is actually really scary, and I actually, if I recall, I might end up having to switch out here to be able to reset, because I think I might be in range of a crit death here, but I forget against Geodude. There might be a risk here. Let's see. I think I just go ahead and click Razor Leaf. Yeah, so I do just go ahead and click Razor Leaf. He clicked Rock Tombs. Does a lot of damage to me. I think I was maybe either just barely out of crit range there. I go for the Razor Leaf, 95% accuracy. That's why. I know that Geodude has Sturdy. So he hands on at 1 HP, and I know that now I'm 1,000% within death range, or, you know, obviously more than crit range. I have a couple options. I can either potion up here, or just get out to reset the speed. It's kind of a stick situation. It's crazy how much, like, I really had to think about this one. There's a couple different options here. I'm sitting here thinking I can't really switch into anything. If I switch into Butterfree, it's going to get one shot by the Rock Tomb. Switch into Pidgey, my Spearow, they're both super underleveled. They'll both die to Rock Tomb. My Oddish will most likely die. I'm debating on whether I have to use my Super Potion or not, and I do end up using it. I think it's the only option here. I do end up using the Super Potion, which sucks to get rid of. He misses his Rock Tomb anyway, but, you know, you got to play it safe. This was a really, really close fight. It's actually crazy how scary this fight was leading up until Brock. And I think this fight sent shivers down my spine and made me realize, oh shit, I need a backup plan. I need something. I'm not going to be able to switch into Butterfree ever because Rock Tomb's always going to one-shot it. This is where I decided I have to level Oddish to be able to switch it in to tank 1 or 2 attacks to be able to reset the speed drop and be able to retake on and reassess my strategy. This was by far one of the grindiest and nerdiest parts of the run. I literally brought up my Pokemon Showdown damage calculator to figure out how many attacks I would need Oddish to tank to be able to switch in and switch out the Ivysaur to be able to reset that speed. I also do go ahead and evolve my Bulbasaur into Ivysaur by taking on this Hoot Hoot here. I end up needing literally 1 XP left to evolve my Bulbasaur. There we go. The Ivysaur evolution comes in pretty clutch here. The Ivysaur evolution is obviously going to give me a lot more stats and allow me to tank stuff from Brock a lot easier and deal with those Rock Tombs more steadily. I ended up finding out that I'm going to need my Oddish to be level 8, which I've already leveled to this point, to be able to tank 2 Rock Tombs from Brock, I believe, to be able to switch into it and switch back to Ivysaur. At this point, I'm 2 hours into the run, and I'm finally stepping forward to take on Brock. Now, looking back, leading Butterfree here into Geodude was so unbelievably risky, and I think I knew this, but I think it's what I needed to do, and I was still early enough into the game where playing risky at these parts weren't terrible, and I could always reset if needed. So I get the Sleep Powder off. If I miss that Sleep Powder against that Geodude, my Butterfree's 100% dead. Rock Tomb would obliterate that thing, but I hit the Sleep Powder. Brock switches over to Onix. I go ahead and set up a Leech Seed to start getting that sustain against him. I don't know if I set up Growth here. I go ahead and just go for a straight up Razor Leaf because I know that it should probably kill, as well as this Onix also might have Sturdy, which is really annoying. Leech Seed breaks through the Sturdy, so we do it in that order. That order is really important here. If I just Razor Leaf from the start, I'm going to waste the Leech Seed anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and go for the Leech Seed turn 1, get a little bit of extra healing. Now he goes back into Geodude, and this fight's pretty much a cakewalk from this point on. I've strategized everything, thought out everything to such an extent that it was pretty easy. Getting around these Sturdy was pretty difficult, was pretty tough, and then we finally get our first badge at a little over 2 hours, 2 hours and 3 minutes. We get our first gym badge. Brock is defeated. I can't tell you how happy I was to head over here to pick up the running shoes. You get them a little late in Kanto, so I was just super excited to finally pick up those running shoes. It will help the speed of just grinding in this run a whole lot. Now, I blast through all the trainers on Route 3 with pretty relative ease. I also go ahead and pick up Psybeam on my Butterfree, which is super relevant when facing down all of these Nidoran males and females, as poison types allows me to one-shot them and grind them a little better. I then go ahead and go on to my Route 3 encounter. A Route 3 encounter ends up being a Nidoran female, which is actually maybe the best encounter here. It's pretty fantastic. This will give me options in utility late game. This thing can set up Stealth Rocks, Toxic Spites, I'm pretty sure, as well as just Toxic the opponent. It's a really powerful stalling mechanism, and Stealth Rocks end up being really good in the Elite Four parts of this Nuzlocke, so you might see me utilize that here. Stealth Rocks are really good against this PokeMMO Kanto Elite Four because there's so many Focus Sashes around and a lot of Pokemon that are very, very weak to Stealth Rocks. A lot of Charizards, a lot of flying types when you're facing down Lance and your rival, especially since I picked Bulbasaur. My rival is obviously going to 100% guaranteed have that Charizard late game, and I planned for that since the very start of the game because he can be a menace if you don't properly prepare for that Charizard. I go ahead and put my Spearow in the PC for now and go ahead and make my dead box, even though none of my Pokemon are deceased yet. I wanted a little party space to pick up my Magikarp, as Gyarados can be such an important part of the run. And my Magikarp ends up Bold Nature, 3 attack IV. Absolutely horrible, pretty unusable, which is super unfortunate since Gyarados can be literally the most powerful Pokemon in a Nuzlocke like this. It was definitely a huge L to just totally lose out on a Gyarados for this run. But we take our first steps into Mount Moon, picked up a potion, and then pick up Geodude. So Geodude can actually be really, really relevant. It can evolve into Golem semi-early on in this run, which is super important. Trade evolutions make this run really interesting, and you guys will see a lot of that throughout this. Now, as you can see, again, I just play so risky with this Butterfree so early on, and looking back, it was definitely probably the biggest mistake I made throughout this run. I risked the Sleep Powder against the Geodude, and it's really, really scary there, because if he wakes up, or if I miss and he gets that Rock Tomb off, it's just going to one-shot me. I then switch over to my Oddish to be able to absorb him. He does have Sturdy, which I almost killed him on accident, which would have been really scary. I thought that Absorb wasn't going to kill for sure since it was so low base power, obviously a 20 base power move, even with Stab, super effective. I didn't think it would one-shot, but it almost did. My Geodude ends up with really good IVs. Latch Nature is not terrible for Geodude, slash Golem. Golem's already a very defensive Pokemon with very weak special defensive stats, so honestly a Nature boosting its defense, and then minusing its special defense, it's not terrible. I name it Dennis after a really important YouTube member, and then checking the IVs. The IVs are pretty much 20 a plus across everything except for HP, I believe. So really, really, really good IV'd Geodude. Probably one of the best IV'd Pokemon I catch throughout this run, especially with that Latch Nature. 30 defense IV with Latch Nature just makes this a really solid tank for the rest of the run. I end up putting my Pidgey back in the PC to make spots in space for the Geodude, as I feel like he'll be a lot more relevant member of the team, especially with his IVs I've covered. I start progressing my way through Mount Moon. I want to hit pretty much everything in this cave and battle as many trainers as possible. I head through it really, really slowly. I head back to the PC a lot for healing, so thankfully you guys get to skip a lot of that in this video. I do end up leading my party at times with Magikarp because even though he's really bad nature, really bad IVs, I want to try to get him into a Gyarados to at least have him as an Intimidate switch. That alone is worth it. So I do end up kind of risking and spending some resources on trying to get that Magikarp up to the Gyarados because I do believe it's worth it. Having a Pokemon with flying typing and Intimidate to dodge those EQs while getting those Intimidate procs is just really, really fantastic switch. The absolute MVP Butterfree really carries me through this cave and helps me sweep through a lot of Pokemon with the combination of Psybeam, Gust, and I believe another Grass type move. Really fantastic Pokemon here. It really just carried me. Compound Eye Sleep Powder was such an important tool. Now I have to make my decision on do I want Kabuto or Ammonite for this run. Now, I end up going with Ammonite here because it's a little bulkier, it has a little bit wider of a move pool, and it's a special attacker, which is a little more rare, especially in Kanto region, as opposed to a physical attacker. So the options between Kabuto and Ammonite are super, super similar. Kabuto is a lot more flimsier, but a lot faster of an attacker. Ammonite is kind of a slower special attacker that also has some decent bulk, but they're pretty similar Pokemon overall. You kind of just lean which side. If you want to go bulky, special, go Ammonite. You want to go physical, fast, riskier, go Kabuto. I would honestly say that Ammonite's probably the weaker pick overall, especially since Kabuto has access to Swords Dance, and Ammonite doesn't really have any access to any sort of crazy setup move, aside from Shell Smash, which is way too risky for a Nuzlocke, so I actually think Kabuto is the stronger pick here, although I think for this run especially, Ammonite came in really clutch, and I stand by this pick. I think it was proper for this team, but I think Kabuto overall is the better pick. Now, I exit Mount Moon, picked up a Mega Drain TM, and the Mega Kick and Mega Punch TMs, which are how they're kind of distributed in this game instead of you having to just tutor them on by talking to the karate guys. I head over to Route 4 and get my encounter. Now, a Rattata encounter is something that I really, really wanted because if any of you are familiar with Pokemon Nuzlocks or challenges or the YouTuber Pokemon challenges, you might have heard him preach and talk about how powerful and how good Guts Raticate is, and that is especially true in PokeMMO. Facade Guts Raticate is very, very powerful, especially when you can go to Viridian Forest or somewhere and get a poison, maybe get a burn if you're lucky somewhere. It's a very, very powerful tool. You end up getting so much raw damage with Guts, Stab, Facade, Raticate. It's just absurd, and it really can carry you through a lot of the early and mid game. It doesn't fall off too especially hard in the late game. After a lot of switching around and careful efforts, we do end up catching the Rattata. Now, unfortunately, he is modest nature. Even though it has a 24 attack IV, which is really nice, the modest nature is just going to hurt it so much that, in my opinion, I don't really waste my time on it for this run. You could argue that it would still be worth it, and I think that's super fair, but personally, I wasn't going to waste my time and run this Raticate. I think it would just cost me too much time and too much resources, where the time spent on a PokeMMO Nuzlocke is just so valuable when it costs so long to get that XP and to train up a certain Pokemon. You can't just train them up willy-nilly, so I chose to just not worry about the Rattata and just kind of bank it and PC it for this run, and I have it as an option if I need to go back to it, but I don't believe I do. Now, at this point, I have a ton of preparation to do, maybe even more so than the Brock fight. The first two gym leaders are really just two huge barriers in this game. Brock and Misty especially, really, really difficult in this game, especially with the Nugget bridge fight and everything right after. Prepping for, I go ahead and sell a revive there as well, since obviously revives in a Nuzlocke are super irrelevant and unimportant. When your Pokemon die, you're not allowed to use them anymore, so it doesn't actually help. But preparing for and understanding which one I want to go for first, my strategy on whether I'd go for Misty first or the Gold Nugget bridge fights, and then ending up going to Gary, it's all really tough. Also, the fact that I had to fight Gary before going to Nugget Bridge is a huge barrier here, and being able, for me to get through his Pidgeotto, I believe here, is probably the biggest barrier of all. I end up spending a lot of time just single encounter grinding on Route 4 because I know that Misty's team is going to be really, really difficult for me. So, for example, my main two Pokemon right now are Ivysaur and Butterfree, which are both going to be weak to Psyduck's Aerial Ace, as well as Ivysaur is going to be weak to things like Confusion, Starmie's Psywave, Golding's Peck, etc., etc. So, Misty and most gym leaders in PokeMMO have a lot of counter mechanisms to defeat those typical types of Pokemon that can usually defeat them. So obviously Misty's a water type. A lot of people bring those early grass types to be able to take her on, but when she has access to things like Aerial Ace, Peck, Psywave, Confusion, which Psywave Confusion hits a lot of those grass poison types early on, similar to Ivysaur and Oddish, it makes things a lot more difficult. Starmie will often also spam that Confuse Ray, which makes things even scarier and rely on RNG, which you never want to do in a Nuzlocke. Now, this first trainer in Misty's gym was pretty much obliterated by me. We end up getting our Ivysaur to level 20 and get Seed Bomb, but at the same time, that Shelter hit me 4 times with an Icicle Spear, and it's a little scary. It looks like I'm almost in range there. If it were to crit me once and then also hit 5 times, it's possible I could have died, but I think I would have just been a little low, maybe like 10 HP or less, but still a risky fight or scary there at the very least. Then we head over to the second gym trainer in Misty's gym and absolutely obliterate her. Kill her with one shot, one Seed Bomb, and she's down. Now I need to go ahead and formulate an actual plan for Misty. I believe I end up leading with Butterfree, and getting that initial sleep powder off is going to be super important. After defeating those 2 first trainers in Misty's gym, I honestly head back to Route 4 for a while and just do some miscellaneous XP farming, as I really need to develop a strategy. So while I'm kind of developing a strategy, I also do some grinding on the side and get that extra XP. I believe at this point, I calculated it out and realized that if I want my Butterfree to be able to take down Misty, I need to get it to level 24 to be able to tank enough attacks and do enough damage to be able to one-shot, or at least do enough damage to be able to finish off the rest of her team. Yeah, it's looking like Water Pulse would do 37.5 to 44% to me, which would be actually stronger than Confusion and anything else. Okay. So Water Pulse can't two-shot me, and Silver Wind will be doing 53 to 63 at level 21. What if I check 26? Okay, if I get my Butterfree to level 26, the fight should be pretty free. After a great suggestion from a viewer, I'm reminded that Magnitude is an AoE move, so I can actually start my first Sweet Scent farming here and go ahead and Magnitude against these Rattata. Now, sometimes you do get Spearow hordes here, so if I get a Spearow horde, I just have to straight up run away and look for a Rattata horde. Huge shout out, and like things like this happened a lot while playing this live, and you guys gave me some awesome tips, so thank you for that. So it was at this point where I went ahead and got my Geodude into Graveler, which I was actually 1 XP off away from again, which happened multiple times throughout this run, which is pretty statistically unlikely and funny, but Graveler is going to be huge for this team, and now that I have Graveler, I can actually go ahead and trade Evo him at any time and immediately make him into a Golem, and it's definitely worth it for the statistical advantage. There's no reason to wait, so I do go ahead and find a viewer to help me go ahead and do that. Now, I believe it was at this point, the reason I was XP training this Graveler at all wasn't for Misty. I ran some calculations, I ran some numbers, and I found out that taking on my rival battle was actually going to be an easier task than taking on Misty, and if I was able to defeat him, it would give me enough XP and give me enough of a position and situation and advantage to be able to take on Misty guaranteed. So my plan became to level up my Graveler into a Golem, get him really strong as fast as possible. He should be able to essentially solo the rival fight. He takes on Pidgeotto, takes on his Charmeleon really, really well. He's going to be super, super strong against Gary here, so I do go ahead and end up just training that up, and then all that's left is to train up my Butterfree a little more up to around 24, level 26, and then the rival fight should be guaranteed, and the Misty fight should be guaranteed. So there's a lot of calculations, a lot of changing up of plans throughout this run. Quick little shout out to Mysterious Soul. Thank you for helping me with the trade evolution. It was super nice. And he also let me have the evolution on screen. So if you trade someone and they cancel the trade evolution, they can trade it back. And then you get to actually view the trade evolution, which is actually really nice for content creation purposes and for stream, of course. So there we go. We finally get our Dennis into a nice little golem with that crazy animation, the wobble. So now that my golem knows rock polish and is officially a golem and has that huge statistical advantage, it's finally time and I'm ready to take on the rival. So I know that if he leads Abra first things first, it's actually the best possible situation for me, so I can go ahead and set up rock polish, get that speed boost. He has to teleport. It's his only move. And with that speed boost, I should be able to sweep through the rest of his team with ease, as you'll see me do pretty easily here. So Rattata goes down. Charmeleon's going to get pretty much one shot. From here on out, it's an absolute circus. I just run through the show. The only thing even remotely risky there is I have a 95% chance to hit my Rock Tomb, so I could potentially miss, I guess. But even if I missed, that Pidgey was going to do no damage to me, and the Abra was no threat at all, unlike it will be much later on. That Abra slash Kadabra slash Alakazam just ends up doing a ton of damage with spam Psychics. So we defeat our rival with ease through proper planning and execution. Now it's time to take on Nugget Bridge, which is surprisingly under-leveled compared to the rival we just took on. A lot of their Pokemon being level 10 to 12, while our rival had like 18 to 16 to 20 level Pokemon. So it was a huge step down and easy to sweep through these guys. I then pretty swiftly defeat all the trainers on Nugget Bridge and head over to my Route 24 encounter, which would be absolutely huge if I were to get an Abra. Here we go. We're looking like an Abra. It's actually an Abra. We actually get the Abra encounter on Route 24, and we can sleep powder it. Oh, that's so good. And we have sleep powder for it. Wow. 97.5% sleep powder for it. Now, as you can see, we do go on to get that Abra encounter, which is super awesome, super lucky, and I'm super happy about it. Now, we do go on to also catch it successfully, which is a little scary. Thankfully, we have sleep powder for it. Like, all the stars really aligned here for us to get this Abra, and I couldn't be happier. Alakazam is such a powerful Pokemon, and having access to these two trade evolution Pokemon this early on, being Alakazam and Golem, is going to help the power of this run so much. And at this point, I'm thinking, and I'm pretty certain that this run can go really deep. This is my first attempt, but I really want to try to make it work on this one, having this strong of a start and this strong of a Pokemon team pool. I go ahead and trade off my Nidoran female for the Abra, as I know that even just having access to that teleport move early game is going to be huge. Having access to teleport early on in a Pokemon storyline when you don't have access to fly yet saves you so much time and adds a little bit of safety when trying to run away from wild Pokemon during a Nuzlocke. And it just saves a lot of time, a lot more comfortability, lets you heal faster. Teleport is just a huge convenience factor and even safety factor in a Nuzlocke. Wait until I already have an Oddish, so it wouldn't do anything. I could also wait until morning and would 100% manipulate a Bellsprout, because it would only be a 50% chance between, it might be 100% Bellsprout. So I could wait. Yeah, we're using the Dupe's Clause, so Oddish wouldn't do anything. But we could wait until morning. We could wait until morning and getting a 100% Bellsprout if I really want Bellsprout. The issue is I don't think I want Bellsprout. I think I'm just going to go for the random encounter here. Wish me luck, guys. Watch me get Bellsprout. We get a second Abra that is Dupe Clause. What is my luck? We really get a second Abra encounter that I have to run from, or I can just kill it. I do go on to catch that Bellsprout on Route 25, but it's a pretty irrelevant Pokemon for this run, so I'm not really happy or sad about it. It was pretty a neutral catch. Sacrifice fodder is always welcome, though, I guess. I take down all the trainers on Route 25 with really good ease, and then I head over to Bill, do his little mini quest, make sure I get the SSN ticket, and then I can safely teleport back to the PC with that Abra we just picked up. Now, if you remember correctly, I changed up my order and I ended up doing my rival in Nugget Bridge before Misty, so I still have Misty to do. And I was still so scared leading up until this fight, so I end up getting my Butterfree to level 26, go for the Sleep Powder lead into Psyduck. The Psyduck lead is pretty scary for me, I will not lie. Now, my plan here was just to spam Silver Winds and do as much damage as possible and probably switch out the later half to take on his team, and this is what happened. Do a lot of damage and hopefully get like a proc. If I get a boost... If I get the Omni boost, Okay, we got the Omni boost. That's so lucky. We literally just get the Omni boost on the first Silver Wind. That should be GG's. I shouldn't be scared to just Silver Wind again if I get a second boost. Like, that's awesome. Omni boost on the first Silver Wind against Misty. We get a second! We got back-to-back Omni boost! What? I went for it as a meme. Okay, Misty's so done with it. I spent like 4 hours like grinding, meticulously preparing, like taking this fight as slowly and safely as possible, and then the PokeMMO RNG gods just hand me everything. So anyways, we defeat Misty, a lot easier than expected, but you know what, sometimes things don't go as planned, and I think this clip was just a really, really fantastic representation of what the PokeMMO Nuzlocke really ends up being. The absolute irony of spending so many hours grinding, preparing, developing a strategy for a fight, and then just sweeping through it all due to some dumb luck is really just the epitome of the PokeMMO Nuzlocke. So we're now around 6 to 7 hours into the run at around 17k Pokeyen and with a max obedience level of 32. If you don't know, PokeMMO has a physical mandated max obedience level, and if your Pokemon go above that, it won't let you physically level those Pokemon above that level, but if you were to somehow buy a Pokemon at a higher level or acquire that higher level in some way, the Pokemon will just instantly faint. If you try to use any attack, it'll instantly one-shot itself. A very, very powerful balancing tool. So it's almost like that implementation of level cap in a hardcore Nuzlocke, but to a more lenient degree, since you obviously can go a lot higher level. It's not just level capped to what the gym leaders Pokemon level are, like in a hardcore Nuzlocke. It's a specific, like, set balanced level. But now we get to go ahead and make our way over to Vermilion City. But quickly before we do that, we do get a Route 5 encounter, which I believe I was hoping for a Meowth here because having access to Fake Out and Payday, honestly, having that extra Pokeyen in a run like this is super relevant. We do get a Mankey, which is actually a really powerful Pokemon and can do really well for a while. Mankey / Primeape is a really fast, really high base attack Pokemon that can do a lot of damage and just really punch holes through a team, even as sort of a sacrificial charging ram. After a lot of safe play, leech seeds, sleep powder, etc., I did go ahead and catch the Mankey. Not very good IVs. Probably not going to use it throughout the run, but it's still decent. Jolly Nature is actually fantastic for it, so at least it has that upside, especially if it needs to win a speed advantage later on in the game. I then simply head through the tunnels and make my way over to Vermilion City. A really important part of heading to Vermilion City is obviously getting your Route 6 encounter, but then most importantly, you have to battle with these trainers. But I want to pick up the bike. The bicycle is going to be super important, so I want to head through as quickly as possible to get to Vermilion City, to get that bike voucher, and then head back to Cerulean and pick up that bike ASAP. We do end up getting a Snubble encounter here on Route 6, and we see it's an Intimidate Snubble, which is super, super nice. So sleep powdering and catching this Snubble, just as an Intimidate Sacrifice switch, is super powerful, and I'm super happy to pick up this Pokemon. Now, after a lot of turns of leech seeding and a sleep powder later, we do catch the Snubble at around 40% HP. And it turns out, okay, serious nature, 15 attack IV, intimidate. The intimidate's nice. Having the stab, or not the stab, the coverage of Fire Fang and Ice Fang is pretty nice, but it's really not going to do that much damage, even with the 80 attack IV, since they're both like 65 base power moves. Pretty weak without stab, obviously. Snubble / Grumpig has a really, really nice coverage. It like has a learn set that has all the fangs, all the elementals, but you really need Expert Bell to make it work, and then even then it's not, they end up not doing enough damage, even though it has incredible coverage is what it comes down to. But we battle through that route with relatively ease, reach Vermilion City, and we have to make some tough party decisions here. So I really want to add that Intimidate Snubble to my party and possibly use it as a Granbull, but we'll see if the damage works out. I kind of end up giving up on my Magic card at some point because it's just not really going to be worth to level him up into a Gyarados, especially if I have the Snubble as that Intimidate switch instead of the Gyarados. Although obviously Gyarados is a better Intimidate switch, it having that bold nature and 3 attack IV just really brutalized it for this run. I also don't know if I'm going to be able to use Mankey at this point, even though he's pretty high level for my team at 14, a lot higher than any of the level Pokemon, than any of the Pokemon in my boxes especially. Alright, now we go and talk to this old man, listen to his little stories, and get that bike voucher, because that's going to be one of the most important tools for getting through this run a little faster. So we pick up the bike voucher, buy a few more Pokeballs to help us catch some more Pokemon along the way. Only 4. We do want to preserve that Pokeyen. It's going to be super important on this run, and make our way back to Cerulean City. Alright, we pick up the bike. Now it's time to keybind it and zoom. And now we can just easily speed back to Vermilion. A lot faster traveling to go on for the rest of the game now. So at this point, the most important fight I have to prepare for is my rival on the SSN, and then after that, I'll have to take on Lieutenant Surge. So I have to develop some sort of strategy to work around that rival right now. First things first, I want to head over to Route 11 to pick up my encounter there. I end up at first getting a Rattata, which is obviously the dupe special species clause, so I just go for a second encounter really quick. I end up getting a Drowsy as my encounter here, which Hypno can actually be a super relevant member of a Nuzlocke team, and I definitely super underrated him throughout this run, and he possibly could have come in handy, but I think having access to Alakazam pretty much just made him irrelevant. As a much faster, stronger attacker, it was just going to be so good, and I didn't really have any room for another Psychic-type Pokemon on my team. But we do catch him after a bit, and he comes out with pretty decent stats. 30 defense and 30 special attack is really solid for a Drowsy, and that 25 attack IV can actually kind of come in relevant. He can be a little mixed, get like access to Headbutt or something, as well as 25 speed Hasty. Not a very fast Pokemon usually, but 25 speed Hasty might actually make him fast enough to be a relevant, fast-ish attacking threat. So if I were to use Hypno in this run, this was actually a super solid Hypno. I then go on to do some miscellaneous XP training and head over to Diglett Cave. Now, the encounter that I actually really want here is Zubat. Even though it's Diglett Cave, there is a slight chance to get Zubat here, and Crobat can be a really powerful Pokemon late game, so I was really hoping for that. Diglett Cave encounter. So, despite the name, in Diglett Cave, we could actually get a Zubat encounter, but it's much rarer. I think I actually prefer the Zubat encounter because I think I personally prefer Crobat over Dugtrio, especially with this comp. We already have a Golem. Crobat could be super freaking good. I would love to see it. But it's much rarer than the actual. Let me go through the cave while I'm doing it. We actually get the Zubat encounter. Dude, my luck in this run has been insane. I think I actually heavily prefer this over Dugtrio. We already have the Golem. Get it? Wow, that's so lucky. I was super happy with the Zubat catch. A viewer did point out that there were going to be a lot more locations and chances for me to catch a Zubat later in the run. I didn't really need to catch him here, but I don't know. I was still happy to get it, especially with these stats. Rash Zubat, Rash isn't great, you know, not terrible. It can be a little mixed, have like Sludge Bomb or something, but with these stats, 30 HP, 23 attack, 22 defense, 20 special defense, and 24 speed. Absolutely phenomenal IVs for a Crobat. Just 20 plus in every single stat that it needs. Couldn't be happier. Just like one of the best statted, if not the best statted Pokemon I've caught so far. Even slightly better than the Golem probably. Just a fantastic catch. I then very carefully make my way through Diglett Cave to head over to the HM cut location and get that so we can prepare for the SSN. Getting through the Diglett Cave is actually a little scarier than I imagined because they will outspeed you, hit you for around 20 or 30% of damage, and you can't run away from them if you need to as a safety net because they all have arena traps. So it's a little scary. I actually had to use a potion or two just to get through Diglett Cave safely. Now, as you might have realized, I just said a mistake, and it's because I made a mistake in game. So I came over here to get the HM cut, but what I meant was the HM flash, and I forgot that I needed the HM cut to get through and get the HM flash, which is just such a newbie mistake. I haven't played through the storylines in a couple of years, so definitely a dumb little mistake, and I realized I'm going to have to just take on the SSN. So I thankfully can teleport out, because if I had to rush back through Diglett Cave without the teleport without access to potions, if I battled 4 to 6 Diglets, I totally could have died. I totally could have just lost my Ivysaur. Maybe I would have had to sack something or switch to Golem or something, but it could have been a little scary. Those magnitudes did a decent chunk to my Ivysaur. Now I go ahead and go pick up some potions from the mart and just prepare for the SSN. Now, to help prepare for the SSN, I take my Golem, head over to Route 11, and I do a couple Sweet Scent hordes and do some XP training and some battling against these Drowsies. I want to check what EVs they give. I believe they gave defense or special defense. Pretty decent-ish EV for the time being. It's okay, we take it, as well as getting some really solid XP. Just a great way to just get prepared and reach a certain level cap to take on the rival of the SSN. I want to make sure I'm healing on the SSN a lot as well. I'm just playing it really safe and smart. Alright, so now after spending a bit of time leading with my Abra and switching over to Golem against these Drowsies to transfer over the XP, not having XP share for the first half of this run is really brutal, and I think at this point is where I kind of realized getting 50 different species in my Pokedex OT to unlock the XP share from that Dr. Oats or Professor Oats' aid to the east of Fuchsia is going to be such an important part of this run. Now I go ahead and evolve my Abra into Kadabra, which means I can even trade evolve it into Alakazam really quickly, which is going to give such a massive stat boost. Giving me access to Golem and Alakazam this early on is quite powerful. Quick shout out to JW Tree for helping me with the evolution. Such an important member of my community, such an important trade. Let me go ahead and see the evolution right here. Looking beautiful. Alakazam's a very cool Pokemon, very powerful, very fast, very hard hitting. Special attacker, which aren't super common throughout the storylines. Alright, with my Pokemon leveled and my Alakazam achieved, it's time to finally head towards and take on the SSN. Alright, now after all of our preparation, it was finally take on the rival fight in the SSN, which can be pretty tough. He does have a Kadabra, which I know will pretty much just spam Psychic, so I need to play around that and play smart. So what I end up deciding on is that because my Golem has Sturdy, I'm going to be able to live one attack anyway. Even though Psychic will probably bring me down to 1 HP, it's probably worth to set up that Rock Polish and try to sweep through as many Pokemon as possible, or most likely sweep through his entire team. But I was unbelievably surprised to see Psybeam only doing 21% to me. Golem is a Pokemon who is pretty weak to special attacks, even if they're not super effective. It's just a pretty weak, especially defensive base stat. But in like the lax nature and everything, like I was not... Didn't think it was going to be able to tank it that well, but wow, it just tanked it perfectly, and then the rest of the fight was a pretty big breeze from there, I'm pretty sure. His Raticate even tried to water gun me and did a measly 20% damage. So I'm sitting here pretty comfortably at around 56% with his 2 weakest Pokemon left being Charmeleon and Pidgeotto. At least 2 weakest Pokemon to my level 32. Very over-leveled Trade Evo Golem here. So that fight ended up being so easy because of that Golem preparation. Then we can go talk to the captain who's busy being seasick, get HM cut, and head out of the SSN. We then head through Diglett Cave for the second time, only to realize I forgot to bring a Pokemon that could learn Cut besides my Ivysaur, and I don't want to sacrifice any move slots for him. So what I have to do is teleport all the way back to this PC, grab a Cut Pokemon, and then go all the way back. So I've gone through Diglett Cave around 3 times, I think, at this point, just to get HM Flash. Stupid mistakes, man, but you know what? That's what happens. So after heading through Diglett Cave for the 3rd time, we finally go talk to Professor Oak's aide and pick up HM5 Flash. Flash isn't super required for this run, but coming to my first PokeMMO Nuzlocke, I definitely didn't really want to risk it. In a speed run, I do go Flashless, obviously, or if I'm trying to do something that requires some sort of speed or time-based thing, but in this Nuzlocke, I wanted to take all the time in the world to play it as safe as possible. We then battle through all the trainers, figure out the puzzle, and make our way to Lieutenant Surge, our 3rd gym badge. Our strategy here was planning to Rock Polish on Golem, maybe Bulldoze, depending on if he leads Raichu or something that can do a lot of damage off the bat, and just getting a punch in the, punch in the gut. So here, we're probably just going to get some base damage off the bat, and I'm not going to worry about sweeping with Rock Polish. Now, what happens next is really terrifying, and this was the first time in the run that I went into a gym battle without calculating everything. I had a pretty decent plan in mind, and I still did a lot of preparation, but I underestimated him. Time for the 3rd gym, boys. Wish me luck. We've prepared a lot. We have a very high-level Golem. The only scary thing is we don't really have many backup Pokemon if the Golem gets into a sticky situation, besides the Ivysaur, which is a little under-leveled. So... we'll see how it goes. I wonder if there's a chance I'm faster. Okay, well that's terrifying. And Bulldoze doesn't KO. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's fucking Shuckaberry. Oh god, that's terrifying. But it's speed fell. This is why I prepare so much, dude. PokeMMO is fucking brutal. These fights, and it swifts. Okay, so what I can do is go into this and go for a sleep powder, and I think I'm faster because the speed drop. If that Bulldoze, if Bulldoze doesn't drop speed, he's faster, T-Balts me, and I'm pretty sure I die. Holy shit, this is terrifying. I'm gonna go ahead and, I think heal up my Golem. Go ahead and take out the Raichu and Silverwind. Catch it? What do you mean catch? Catch what? I should be faster. Gonna sleep powder. Yeah, that grass knot was absolutely terrifying. I'm gonna go ahead and super potion the Golem here. Scared that T-Bolt kills me. Should the real goal? Please stay asleep. He woke up. Thunder Wave. Okay, that's fine. I don't think this thing has Mirror Shot. The Voltorb has Mirror Shot. Shockwave. Yes, we dodge it. We go back into Golem. He has his Sturdy back up. I don't think I need... do I need a Rock Polish here? I don't know if Rock Polish really saves me for much. I'm just gonna Bulldoze. I'll know I'll be faster than this thing. This thing has Sturdy. That's really annoying. Yo, thank you, Ross. Mirror Shot does 50%. He does have Mirror Shot. Oh, and my accuracy fell. Oh my god. What resists steel? Literally so scary. It's the 3rd gym leader, and this is so terrifying. Me desperately trying not to lose this run. Oh my god. I can't risk losing my fucking golem. Like, there's no way. I need to check everything. I have to switch. I'm gonna go, yeah, I think Ivysaur. I'm not... Like, I could risk my Bulldoze hitting, but I just don't want to do it, dude. And he's Super Potions. Now, that sucks. Go ahead and, Super Potion my Golem. Get it back to Sturdy. He shouldn't be able to touch me too much. T-Wave's a little annoying, but it's fine. Sturdy being broke is still huge. I can just Leech Seed this thing as well and take it slow. He can miss Mirror Shot, which is huge. Parrot. I can just take this slow. I'm gonna keep my, wow, Mirror Shot did 40%. Is that a crit? Wow, Mirror Shot's fucking insane. I'm not dead at least. I got Parahexed 3 turns in a row. Are you kidding me? Wow. As you guys can tell, this fight was really, really tough, and my optimism was fading, and I was just really scared I was going to lose the entire run here. Rousey luck has come in full circle, boys. We're super lucky, but also super unlucky. I don't want to sack 4 Parahacks in a row. What? I don't want to risk a sacrifice if possible. That is insane. I want to talk about that Leech Seed here for a sec. Me going down to 2% HP. I 1000% just tilt clicked that. I totally could have just lost the entire run there. This whole fight was just an absolute emotional roller coaster. Not even roller coaster, just an emotional downhill trajectory. And I was really just so frustrated and dying over this fight. So much was happening. So much was going wrong all at once. I'm fine. I don't lose the sore here. I can heal. That is crazy. And then Shockwave's here. Oh, that's a good call, T. I probably could have gotten a free switch to Golem here. Ear shot. I'm just going to Sleep Powder and tank it. Is this Karma? True. My accuracy. There's no way I hit the Sleep Powder. Okay, Patrouski luck comes full circle. And I hit the accuracy lowered Sleep Powder through the para. So you know what? I'll take that. And now I can switch to Golem for free. I'm actually gonna Rock Polish. Perfect. I don't know, even with Rock Polish, if I'm faster than some of his other Pokemon. Terrifying. Holy shit! This is why we over level, boys. We're over leveling for the rest of the run. Bulldoze here. I'm faster here. Okay, we just take it out. We're faster than Voltorb because of the Rock Polish. Dude, that was... Wow. That was terrifying. That was... Wow. After almost losing every single core Pokemon on my team, Golem, Butterfree, Ivysaur, they were all in severe danger through those fights. I managed to stay cool enough to avoid some really good RNG, avoid some bad RNG. It was just an absolute RNG roller coaster for sure. An emotional downhill spiral and trajectory until we were able to bring it back. But we thankfully pulled through and were able to get our 3rd gym badge, defeating Lieutenant Surge. It was a crazy fight. This is one of the craziest fights of the entire run, and I think this fight really made me be like, okay, I'm never underpreparing for a fight ever again. I'm never not calcing everything. This was insane. This lit a fire under me, and I was not going to make any more mistakes like this for the rest of the run. Alright, after defeating Lieutenant Surge, I loaded up the next day, and I was excited for a pretty chill day with some story progression, going back to Cerulean City, and then heading to the east to go to Route 9 to slowly make my way towards Rock Tunnel. At least that's what I thought. That's what I had in mind. Little did I know this was going to be the hardest hitting day of the Nuzlocke for me out of the entire journey. Now you see, on this route, I was trying to level up some of my Pokemon and spread the XP amongst my party a little more, especially with my Zubat. I was really proud of this Zubat. It had great IVs, not a great nature, but it was okay, and I was really excited to level it up into a Crobat, but I was having a lot of difficulty with it, and I thought I could get some nice XP on this route, and I made a crucial mistake. Anything ever happening there? Man, Golem counters everything, but I don't really want more XP on Golem. No! Our first death! No! I should have thought about Pursuit! I really wanted to get XP on this thing. I really wanted a Crobat. That's the stupidest way for something to die. A really dumb death while just trying to get some XP across my party on what I thought was going to be a pivotal Pokemon for the run, especially later during the Elite Four. It was a pretty crushing blow and it hurt. It was the first death. I definitely should have remembered Pursuit is a really common move on Beedrill, especially in these early game parts, and the PokeMMO AI just, for whatever reason, it knew I was going to switch. It thought I was going to switch, whether it was because I was low HP or whatever. It clicked that Pursuit and it obliterated my rash Zubat, who had a minus defense nature, as well as pretty weak defensive stats early on, being a Zubat. So it was pretty brutal. It was a huge L, and it broke my heart. I lost a core member of the team moving forward, but I knew it was okay. I knew I could replace it, but it just sucked. It hurt, you know? Alright, quick correction. While recording this, I realized that I said rash minus defense. It actually minus his special defense. Guess I'm a fucking noob. Sorry about that, guys. I then replace the now dead Zubat with a Magikarp, and I head back to the route to continue spreading that XP and hopefully just level up my party along the way. I really wanted to spread some XP, spread some love, spread some levels, and then, you know what? I just happened to make another huge mistake. I've been doing best of luck, 0 death gain. Ow! I actually just lost a Pokemon, Jas, in the stupidest way. Really bummed about it. I ended up losing my my Zubat to a Pursuit Beedrill while grinding it against trainers. Yeah. Did that? No. No! Oh, that's so bad! Oh no! Oh no! I'm losing the run today, boys. No, that's so bad. I was absolutely mortified here. Just another stupid mistake, being frustrated, not paying attention. I kept my Butterfree in against the Geodude. I put him to sleep. I thought it was safe, and he used Smackdown, which is a move that has 50 base power, rock type move, which Butterfree is already 4 times weak to, but it gets doubled if used against a flying type Pokemon, so it ends up becoming a 100 base power stab rock type move, just obliterating my Butterfree. And Butterfree was my most important, like, key member of my team up until this point. He had carried me so far. I literally just lost my ace in the hole and a huge future part of the team in Zubat within around 15 minutes. It was so devastating, and I almost gave up the entire Nuzlocke after this day. Giving up the entire Nuzlocke after only losing 2 Pokemon, I know it might sound dramatic, and I think that's pretty fair. You're definitely in like an emotional state, and you're in a dramatic state when that sort of thing happens, but it hurt, you know, losing those 2 Pokemon from really stupid mistakes, losing 2 core Pokemon from 2 stupid mistakes in front of, you know, 50 to 80 people watching you live. You know, it just felt, it hurt, you know, it felt stupid, it felt dumb, but that's part of the Pokemon Nuzlocke. That's part of the beauty of it. You're going to make those mistakes, and it's going to happen, and you got to be able to trudge on, move forward, and have that perseverance. That's a huge part of the Nuzlocke, and something I've never lacked is perseverance. I add my new 2 Pokemon to the death box, mourn their losses, and move on quickly. I end up adding Intimidate Snubbull to my party as an Intimidate switch to fill the hole that Butterfree and Zubat left. I then head over to Route 10 to get my encounter here. Now, I'm really looking for a Magnemite here. Magnemite would be a really, really incredible counter. Magnezone has a really great typing. It's a 50% chance here. When I use Sweet Scent, it's a 50% chance between Magnemite and Voltorb. I thankfully do get the Magnemite. Really happy with that. Voltorb would have been a lot weaker, and this Magnemite goes on to become one of the core members of this team, and I couldn't be happier with it. Now, after clearing the other 2 Magnemites and choosing which Magnemite I want to catch, I choose the far left one, level 13, and I'm greeted with a pleasant surprise. Now, the nature is not great. Impish nature is actually really hurtful, but the IVs, I do get a 2 times 31 Pokemon, 31 HP, and 31 special attack, 2 extremely relevant IVs for a Magnezone, as well as having 15 plus and some other relevant stats, the defenses. It's a really, really nice Pokemon. This Pokemon can get Volt Switch, which can be really, really relevant in a Nuzlocke, especially slow Volt Switches. Really not bad, and I'll super take it. The 7 speed IV is definitely the worst thing about it. The low speed IV will definitely go on to haunt me in this run a little bit, but this guy was going to be a crucial member of the team, and I was super happy to get him. Even though the nature was hurting him, just really good typing on a Pokemon. It does have a 4x weakness of ground that I'll have to be aware of and keep track of for the rest of the game. I then head into Rock Tunnel for the first time and want to start slowly making my way through it, battling through all the trainers and running back when I need to heal up. I go on to catch my Rock Tunnel encounter, which ends up being a Machop, which really isn't that useful and really isn't that great in my opinion. Machamp's a pretty bad Pokemon in Nuzlocke in my opinion. He's just too slow, and even in PokeMMO he ends up not doing enough damage. He does have Node Guard, which gives him a dynamic punch, Node Guard kind of niche. It's possible I could see myself using him against the E4, but I don't think I end up doing that. Kind of just sits in the box, ends up not being a relevant team member, and that's okay. I later then logged off and took a break and wanted to take on Rock Tunnel the next day. Now, the next day I actually came back to Route 9 to do my Route 9 encounter because I delayed it because there's basically there's only 2 Pokemon I can get here because of the species clause. A lot of Spearow here, a lot of Nidoran female, a lot of Pokemon that I already have. Now, there is Ekans and Sandshrew here. Sandshrew only appears in the daytime, and I haven't caught one of those, and Ekans only appears at night. So I essentially guaranteed an Ekans encounter here by waiting until nighttime, delaying that encounter to make sure I got the Ekans. I was hoping for an Intimidate, Ekans, or Arbok. That was pretty much the only use I could get out of it. Sandshrew would pretty much offer me no utility. I could have gone Sandslash and gone for like Stealth Rocks plus Rapid Spin, but Rapid Spin's not that relevant. I guess the speed boost is nice. I could have gone some sort of Sandslash build, but it's so fragile, especially against special attackers, which the Elite Four in this game is really full of. So I wanted to just go for that Intimidate chance. Sandslash might have been better late game, but the Intimidate Arbok was better right now, and I feel like I really needed some team rebuilding at the moment after losing those 2 Pokemon I was pretty brutalized by. At this point in the game, I also really want to start leveling my Alakazam, but I'm just terrified. I'm mortified. I'm so scared to lead my party with Alakazam and switch another Pokemon after losing like 2 Pokemon in that way, Butterfree and Zubat. I was just so scared to even train Pokemon, so I was really playing it safe and waiting for a safe horde to be able to train against. Now, at this point in Rock Tunnel, I end up putting myself in a really sticky situation, and this was a huge mistake by me. I should have Super Potioned my Ivysaur leading into this. So, I lead Ivysaur into Slowpoke. Now, obviously, I can Seed Bomb this thing, and probably one-shot it, and maybe I should have just gone for that, but I was really scared of Zen Headbutt. But looking back, maybe I should have just, because I probably would have been able to one-shot, but I don't know, it's pretty defensively tanky. I felt pretty under-leveled at this point, but my Ivysaur is level 30 compared to his 20, so it might have just killed. I feel like looking back, I probably should have just gone for the Seed Bomb, but essentially what I did here was I switched to Snubble to get off an Intimidate because I knew that I was scared of Zen Headbutt, so I knew I was scared of a physical attack, not a special attack from Slowpoke, but I was really scared of these I just made a huge mistake here, essentially. I was really scared of switching to my Golem and getting water blasted, water pulsed, whatever, and then my Ivysaur getting Zen Headbutted. I was kind of just weak enough on my Ivysaur where I was scared to not be able to one-shot it and not be able to tank his headbutt, and I knew that my Golem I was just a little scared on, and I guess I could have gone to that. I basically just acted too quickly here, made a mistake. I was really, really willing to sacrifice my Intimidate Snubble. It really was just an Intimidate sacrifice switch, but I think I sacrificed it too quickly here for sure, so that was my 3rd dead Pokemon in this run. I then go on to make another huge mistake against the next trainer where I end up trying to set up against him using Growth on my Ivysaur because I want to keep getting XP on him. I Growth up a couple times, and then I realize I'm out of PP on my Seed Bomb, and I can't even attack. I have no other attacks, so I've just wasted all the time and energy trying to set up Growth, and it puts my party in a little bit of a, unfavorable position. Now, this puts me in a really sticky situation. I'm also wrapped, so I can't even switch out here. I essentially just have to throw up a Sleep Powder just to burn a turn and just see how it happens, see what goes on in the battle. So I'm not going to be hurt too much, but I'm not able to hurt his Bellsprout at all. Now, thankfully, when I go for that wasted turn on the Leech Seed / Sleep Powder, he does just randomly switch into Clefairy, so this gives me the position to be able to go ahead and switch out into Golem super safely, and then it should be a pretty clean sweep from there. We then go on to defeat one more trainer with the help of Golem, defeat one more wild Pokemon, and then finally make our way out of Rock Tunnel. It was actually really difficult making my way through this. I had to do it really slowly, really carefully, and we still lost that Snubble, unfortunately. But I'm excited to go ahead and head on over to Lavender Tower and take on what's next in the storyline. Now, we do go ahead and rename our Snubble to RIP, put him in the dead box, and mourn for a second while choosing which Pokemon to replace him with. I think I pretty quickly grabbed Magnemite here, as I think he can be a really cool Pokemon, and obviously I'm really excited to get that Magnezone final evolution eventually. I head to the Pokemart to pick up some important Pokeballs while preparing for a really important encounter coming up, and I do get distracted and I pick up some really important vanities. I know that I only have 45k to my name, and Pokeyen is going to be super important for this run, so I do go ahead and pick up those teddy ears. How damn cute do I look with those things on my bald forehead? I can't tell you guys how important this encounter is. Getting a fire type for the next 2 gyms is absolutely huge. Koga and Erika are really difficult for my team, especially with my starter being Ivysaur. I can make up for it a decent amount. Having Alakazam will be nice, but I'll have to level him for sure. Dennis could come in handy against Koga, but not so much Erika. It'll be tough. I'm really hoping for a Vulpix or a Growlithe encounter here, which would be the best of luck. That is Species Clause, so Noctowl is my encounter. Not great, but not horrible. It's evolved, which is nice. I can go ahead and Sleep Powder. Oh, it has Insomnia, so I can't Sleep Powder it. I forgot about that. That's kind of scary. Noctowl will be pretty good against Erika. So that's at least a Pokemon help with Erika. And it's level 20, so not having to like level it is a big deal. So there we go. We catch the Noctowl, so that's our Route 8 encounter. Jolly Nature is not great. Actually, so Noctowl is actually a special attacker, so it's not worse, not horrible because it increases speed, which is actually kind of nice. The speed increase is nice, semi-tanky, has an okay move pool, honestly. Air Slash is nice. I can put the beak on that. Okay, that is our Route 8 encounter. I did not mean to run into him. Oops, I should be fine. Step is to prepare for the rival battle. 5th battle, Lavender Tower. So, at Lavender Tower, Gary will have a level 29 Eevee, a level 27 Gyarados. That's pretty scary. A level 31 Charmeleon. A level 27 Kadabra and a level 27 Pidgeotto. So my Golem can take most of his team on, except for Gyarados and Kadabra. That's what I'm scared. That's what my Golem is scared of there. Encounter this Nuzlocke as well. I had to think about what I want to evolve the Eevee into. That'll be a really interesting meme. Jolteon's probably the best, but Flareon is a decent pick for a fire type. To have access to a fire type is huge. After doing a lot of planning, theorizing, and figuring out where I'm going from here, plotting my rival battle in Lavender Tower, I go ahead and head back over to Route 8 and just battle through the trainers to just do something that I need to do anyway, and make my way towards the next cities. After battling through all of that route and heading through the underground tunnel to reach the other side towards Celadon, I head up to Route 7 and remember that I can actually get a guaranteed Houndour encounter here at nighttime using Sweet Scent, so that will give me access to a guaranteed fire type, which I'm super excited for. Okay, here is another huge encounter. I can actually abuse this. Okay, I can actually abuse this encounter and hopefully get, it's a 50% chance. Okay, so what I'm about to do... Actually, no, I think it's guaranteed. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to use Sweet Scent. And this location, at nighttime only, I believe is a 50% chance for Houndour, 50% chance for Rattata. And I already have a Rattata. So I'm pretty sure this is a guaranteed Houndour. Abusing Sweet Scent for encounters, yeah. So I get a Houndour here, which is awesome. Abusing Sweet Scent for encounters is something that is, like, really cool in my opinion. And, like, it sounds broken, but this Nuzlocke is hard, and I need every single edge I can get. There we go, we catch the Houndour. Great catch. Fantastic. Fire types are really important, obviously. Brave is not great. It's a bulky Houndour, not great, but you know what? We'll make it work somehow. Okay, didn't have Pursuit, thankfully. Now, I really cared about whether Houndour had Pursuit there or not because I was actively looking for a horde that I could use to train up my Alakazam. I really wanted to get my Alakazam some good levels, make him really strong, but I've been really careful and really safe about doing so after all of those Pursuit deaths and just losing 2 huge Pokemon like that. So I really wanted to play it safe. Alakazam's obviously a Pokemon that is wildly weak to Pursuit, so I wanted to play it really smart. If I were to farm XP... this would be my party. But what I'm terrified of, I don't think I can do this. It's too risky. I can't. I literally can't. Actually can't sweet scent farm like this. It's too risky. Houndour. Houndour. I say Houndour. Houndour. I didn't realize. Alright, what I was trying to explain before getting distracted by Houndour was that I essentially can't. I'm really scared to sweet scent farm here because if the Houndour use Roar and roar into a low level Pokemon like my Oddish, or maybe just roar once into my Oddish and then roar, another one roars and roars back me into my Alakazam, and they go for those crunches, I could lose some really important Pokemon. So Roar was essentially just too unpredictable and too scary, and I didn't want to farm around it. Because at this point, my method for sweet scent farming would have been to lead with Alakazam and then switch to Golem, so they're always going to have a free turn to go for those attacks and go for those roars, and it was just too risky, decided against it. I just decided to take it slow for now and continue on the storyline, head over to Route 16 to go ahead and pick up Fly and head into this battle, and kind of forgot it was a double battle. So I was a little scared here, leading a level 16 Alakazam into this. Thankfully, neither of these Pokemon most likely have Pursuit, so it was safe, but if one of them did, I really could have lost it there. So I go ahead and make this Giga Brain play that I talked about. I go for a Bulldoze, which is obviously an AoE attack that can hit my teammate, but I go for a Bulldoze and then switch into Noctowl, which is a flying type. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm going to be able to Bulldoze both of his Pokemon, both of his fire types, and essentially one-shot both of them, while my Noctowl is able to dodge the ground type attack. So I was pretty happy with this. Now, I still almost lost my Noctowl here, which is pretty insane, pretty scary. And then I go on and essentially just go ahead and finish up the Ninetales and let this thing get killed and play it safe again. I switch back into my Alakazam here because I don't want my Noctowl to die for some sort of quick attack or something stupid. So play kind of safe, go for the takedown there, and we get through that trainer even though I wasn't prepared for it. We then do go over and pick up HM Fly, which is just going to be super, super nice for convenience, especially with XP training and like any sort of training that I want to do later on. It's going to be super, super nice. It's also just not a terrible move in the storyline, terrible move in PvP, okay, decent-ish in PVM, a nice base power on it. As I continue to procrastinate, I go ahead and go pick up my Eevee encounter as well. I'm essentially just using this time to stall and figure out what I'm doing in the storyline, because this is a pretty freelance part in the storyline. You can go do a lot of different multiple things, but I think what I end up doing is eventually taking on the Rocket Hideout in Celadon, but I'm just kind of stalling, gathering some things together, gathering myself, gathering my Pokemon, gathering my resources, understanding what I need to do before doing it. At this point in the stream, I was pretty tired, so honestly, I went ahead and just picked up my coin case, bought some coins, and just started gambling for the rest of the stream. I knew that I was going to allow myself one casino encounter, which might be super relevant. Getting a Dratini encounter and being able to evolve that into a Dragonite late game could be super, super nice, or obviously there's things like Porygon, things like Horsey, some really nice encounters in there, as well as some TM. So getting stocked up on coins wasn't really ever going to be a bad thing, so while I was kind of tired, I might as well just go ahead and gamble for some fun on stream. Here's a quick overview of my boxes at this point. I did end up catching a Muck, I believe, on the route left near that fly spot. So here's all my Pokemon so far. A lot of Pokemon just sitting in my boxes that'll really never go to use, but it's good. It's really nice to have them as backups, and some of them might come out later in the game. I might end up getting a good XP spot and really utilizing them for the Elite Four. After a lot of thinking and planning and decisions, I end up just heading back to this Drowsy location for some EV training, or XP training, trying to get that Magnemite up in XP and everything. It really sucked because this location is really, really bad for XP, but I'm just desperately trying to find something that is safe and reasonable to do, so I kind of just came here and chilled out for a bit and got some XP. I then go back to earlier parts in the storyline, like pre-Rock Tunnel and everything, to rebattle some of these super low-level trainers to, A, get my Magnemite some extra XP, and then B, stack up on some extra Pokeyen. I'm really low on Pokeyen. Just every 100 Pokeyen, every little bit helps. Extra potions, extra everything. Pokeyen is a pretty tight income in this run, so I wanted to kind of go back and rebattle some trainers for XP and Pokeyen while playing it really safe. I was really scared of all this pursuit shenanigans or whatever was going on, so I came back and I played it smarter this time. After a lot of XP farming, I eventually decided to start slowly making my way through the Team Rocket Grunt Hideout. I really wasn't sure what level these Pokemon would be, so I kind of approached it with my Magnemite, just trying to test to see what Pokemon they had, what level they were. I hadn't played through this part in the storyline in a long time, so I wanted to test to see if it was possible, if I could make it through this dungeon while also getting good XP in my Pokemon, but I still needed to play it safe, so I really wanted to test things out, play it smart, play it slow, and start taking on this challenge. Now, I do make my way through most of the Team Rocket hideout really easily. I just play it safe. I go back and heal up a lot. I try to get some expensive Pokemon now. I do lead my Magnemite here. Pretty low HP into this Coughing, which is a little scary. This is probably, a bit of a mistake that I made. I thought that I might be able to one-shot it still, since Wheezing/Coughing is usually a sort of defensive wall and not a special defensive wall. I do take a little bit of damage. Playing it really risky here. He does avoid 2 mirror shots, and that's when he gets a nice attack. So and crit, but even the crit only did 11% damage, puts me to 13%, and I decide, you know what, let me just go ahead and switch. I want to play it really safe. I don't want to risk this Magnemite for no reason. I have plenty of switch-ins here, so I just switched, clear it out. Pretty sure I end up going back to heal after that, and then I finish out this dungeon. Alright, after battling all through the Rocket hideout, I eventually make it to the doors of Giovanni and get Venusaur right before I take him on, so I was super happy about that XP and the way that worked out in that evolution. And then after this, I should be ready to take on Giovanni with some good planning. Whew, okay. Wish me luck. Definitely lead Veno. I think this lead is fine. Oh, he leads this. Okay. I beat Surge last night. Yo, congratulations, Anna. You got this. Thank you. Thank you. This guy is Shuckaberry? Now that was not on the wiki. Not complete. It's not full of information. I should be faster than everything on his team. I just bulldoze here. This is still really awkward. Very serious / tough fight. So I'm a little scared here. Like, dude, I'm terrified of this Kanga. I think I'm going to make the switch into Venusaur. Yeah, Brick Break will fuck me up there. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. 9%. Oof. Chef's kiss. And I just Leech Seed here. This thing kind of early bird, so I don't want to Sleep Powder. Alright, here's the epic fight versus the Kangaskhan. Mega Punch coming in for 28% damage. The Leech Seed does land. I'm going to go for a growth or 2 and look for the sweep on Giovanni. Let's see how it goes. A lot of damage there. I'm just barely out of crit range, I believe. Let's see if I can go for Seed Bomb now and do massive damage. Only 46%, plus the Citrus Berry is going to heal him back up to 53. Out of second Seed Bomb range. Mega Punch misses. Mega Punch finally misses, and the Leech Seed damage is huge, putting him back into Seed Bomb range. Beautiful plays. Comes in. Now this is a little scary. All of his Pokemon seem to have Insomnia abilities or Early Bird. What sucks here is that I really want to make a switch into my Golem. But I'm scared of how much damage I'll take on the switch in. I should be fine. We can always Hyper Potion this next turn and be pretty safe. Thunder Wave! We dodge it! Easy peasy. Rock Blast, I should be faster. Absolutely obliterates the Murkrow. Giovanni, you're so bad. True. This is the last Pokemon. I should be safe to bulldoze this. The scary thing is... Sam, double kick. This is actually a terrifying Pokemon to deal with. I'm actually going to play this hyper safe, I think, in Hyper Potion here. To get my Sturdy and see what happens. Because this is actually terrifying. This has Water Pulse. 72%! That's why we test. I could have just gone to Venusaur there, but I wanted to test. Oh my god, and it was a crit! That would have KO'd me if I didn't switch or Hyper Potion there. Now to Venusaur. The issue is this Pokemon is really tough for my Venusaur to deal with. A turn. My best bet is going to be to sustain this thing. Leech Seed. We missed the 90% Leech Seed. Crunch comes in for 14%. Please don't get a defense drop. That would be a big deal. Leech Seed does hit this time. That should wrap it up and put this in the bag for me. So outdated, or so like not... Oh my goodness. Whew. If that thing crit double kicked me, I would have cried. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Giovanni was defeated by the end of it all. After all of our efforts. After so many close calls. It is insane. We get the Silph Scope, big deal. It is insane how every single fight we are fighting for our lives in every single battle in this Nuzlocke. Every single battle is an absolute us crawling to dirt in muddy grass, trying to... Please don't. Oh no. Do I have to say? I did not think there'd be another Pokemon. I did not think there'd be another trainer. Oh, I'm out of potions. Not gonna lie, this was a massive mistake. Accidentally running into this trainer without being prepared, no potions, with my golem leading at this HP. I was really scared. Coffin could have had self-destruct. It was a little risky. Thankfully, I was able to outspeed and just destroy them both. Thankfully, the rock blast hit. If I missed that rock blast being 95% accuracy, it could have been really scary. But thankfully, never punished, always lucky. From there, we make our way out of Celadon City and head back over to Lavender Town, and now it's just time to prepare for our Gary rival fight, heading into the Lavender Tower, and I'm deciding if whether I'm ready for it or not, and I think I just kind of freeball it here and risk it, and we'll see how that goes. Missed it. I'm feeling risky today. Look at him sitting here. Hello? Okay. The play here is always to lead with Golem. Golem is going to be my best Pokemon against him. The only thing that is terrifying is that if he leads Gyarados, I'm in trouble. I have to switch to Magnemite. Level 26. Hey, Nuzlocke, what brings you here? I'm here to kick your ass, dude. Wish me luck, fellas. Gyarados is the lead. That is tough. That is tough to swallow. It's here. I think I'm going to go ahead and make the Magnemite play. Water Pulse shouldn't do too much damage. 41%. More than I expected. It's the confusion. Now that is tough. Now I think I have to make the switch to Venusaur now. He should switch as well, expecting an electric type move to like one-hit KO him. He probably should switch as well, right? Now that's unfortunate. I was expecting better from the PokeMMO AI. Shake my head. Well, double Water Pulse confusion is much less fine. Am I going to hit myself? Okay. We get a Leech Seed off at least. Make the switch to Golem here. We're going to go for the Rock Polish. Flamethrower. It's supposed to have Fire Fang. Oh my goodness. Wow. Or I think I actually might have to go for Rock Blast in case the Gyarados switch in. Because I don't think I one-shot the Gyarados. I'm gonna Rock Blast. I don't quite KO. Oh no, I know I do. Okay, I do KO through Citrus Berry. Whew. Oh my god. The wiki not being updated is brutal. We'll play back into Venusaur. Water Pulse scary. This fight is a tough fight. No confusion, finally. Thank you. Gonna go for the Leech Seed play. Maybe I should have like Growth here or Sleep Powdered. The confusion. By 70%, that's fine. No, yeah, Leech Seed's good though. Leech Seed's good here. I'm gonna make the Sleep Powder play. We hit the Sleep Powder. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now that his Charmeleon is gone, my Venusaur does have a lot easier of a time. The Pidgeotto is still pretty scary. Me. I'm just gonna Growth against this guy. Because I think what I care about now is being able to possibly one-shot the Pidgeotto. Is that a crit? Yep. I think from this point on, I just Growth up until I can one-shot Pidgeotto. Alright, really tough fight, really tough start, as you guys had seen. Everything that went wrong, went wrong. The Gyarados lead was brutal. The double Water Pulse confusion was devastating. I had to just keep switching around, play it smart, try to confuse the AI. Eventually, I was able to put myself in a position from behind to be able to allow myself to get ahead. So, from this point on, I still just Leech Seed and let it sustain me while I go ahead and set up a ton of growth, trying to dodge those defense drops from Crunch. I try to set up as much as possible here. I want to be able to outspeed and one-shot the Pidgeotto. That's the last Pokemon that I'm scared of here. Other than that, it should be a pretty clean sweep. Subscribing. Genius tactics. I'm just gonna go ahead and Super Potion here. Play it super Giga Turbo safe. Pidgeot be faster? Pidgeot might be faster, but I should be fine. Lil White, yeah, I got you. This thing's base stat speed. Kadabra comes in. Now this thing might be faster. I don't think Seed Bomb or Psybeam kills. Yeah, not even close. 45%. I was like, I'm pretty sure Venusaur is actually pretty bulky, and Psybeam is just so low base power. Okay, well the issue is now I'm pretty sure I can't kill. What is Pidgeotto's base stat speed? I'm gonna have to fucking black-white smoking Pidgeotto for this shit. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. It's actually so close. I'm gonna Super Potion here to test, I think. So I should be faster. I'm gonna Super Potion here. I should be fine if I Super Potion. I should be safe here if I Super Potion. Oh my god, Gust only does 14%. Never mind, get the fuck out of here. Oh, I should be faster here. Yes, I am faster. If it's 31 IV, no neutral nature, no EVs, it's 67. 67 base stat, or 67 speed. Literally 2 speed stats lower than my Vina. So close. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. We do be dodging crits, though. We do be dodging relevant crits. That is actually true. Alright, another scary fight, narrowly conquered. There's a lot of tough moments, a lot of bad RNG, a lot of good RNG. You know, the Patrouski special, the roller coaster, the ups and downs. And now it's time to traverse through Pokemon Tower. I'm going to go heal up, make sure to get my Pokemon ready, and try to slowly make my way through here. I do really want to start leveling my Alakazam at some point, but it's just so scary and still so risky here. I also have literally 0 Pokemon that are able to take through this tower easily. Golem's super weak to special attacks. My Venusaur is going to be weak to a lot of things and weak to psychics. My Alakazam is going to be super weak to shadow balls and everything, any sort of ghost type attack, obviously. It's really tough. This is actually one of the toughest parts of the map for my team specifically to traverse. On the Nuzlocke, what are we working on? I think we're working on leveling our Alakazam. I think that is going to be the main point of attack. So I'm going to go ahead back up into... I want to, like, I guess, slowly start working my way through Lavender Tower. I am a little scared to battle... So the NPCs are... Now, this is a little scary. So I don't know if I can one-shot this. I don't think I can. As you can see by some of the footage, I was really put in some awkward situations. I'm not able to one-shot a lot of these Pokemon. The trainers are really scary and unpredictable. Alakazam was just too under-leveled, and I didn't have a safe way to level him up. So getting through Lavender Tower was pretty scary, surprisingly tough. But eventually I do just get into a groove where I lead my Alakazam, and I just try to find these single encounter Ghastlies, and I just slowly, oh so slowly, start training my Alakazam slightly. Also getting some good special attack EVs here, not purposefully, but just it's the best spot to EV or XP train at all right now, my Alakazam. Just these single encounters in Lavender Tower, getting that guaranteed XP. I'll be able to one-shot all Ghastlies, but Haunters are going to give me a little bit of a challenge, so I have to switch out on those guys and be careful, but we should be good to farm here for a little bit. Now, after a ton of farming, I finally do make my way to the top of Lavender Tower and battle through all the rocket leaders and rocket trainers up there. Now, it is a pretty easy fight, but there's a little scary parts at times. My Venusaur does get pretty hurt and kind of battles through the first half, but ends up getting burned and crippled to the extent where I have to end up bringing in my Golem, and he'll kind of finish off the rest of the team. So, with the double tag team action of Venusaur and Golem, it was a pretty easy fight, but got a little scary at times. But I do go ahead and save the old man and get access to the Poke Flute, which will allow me to wake up the Snorlaxes, get through those routes, get those encounters, and catch myself a Snorlax if I'm lucky. So we'll see how it goes. We do have 2 chances. Alright, after defeating Pokemon Lavender Tower and getting some XP on my Alakazam, I do want to slowly start making my way up to Erika, but her trainers are really, really tough, and I need to play it smart, as well as obviously my Alakazam being a pretty fragile Pokemon. I do want to get more XP on him, but I need to calc everything, play it smart, play it safe, and just really, really slowly make my way to Erika. Maybe go do some safe farming here and there. We'll see how it plays out. Now, the first trainer in Erika's gym was a pretty easy, clean sweep, but the second one here was a little bit of a different story. Let's see what Beauty Bridget did to me. Sunflora. Now, this is a Pokemon I'm a little scared of. Special moves, except for Vine Whip. Gotta bring up the damage calculator. Can I live a Vine Whip? Wait, Sunflora's just grass type, right? It's not poison, so I'm not going to be doing super effective damage. Okay, I should be good to Side Beam here. 52%. Show me some weak damage, Sunflora. Giga Drain does 51! Yikers! We are getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting out of here. I repeat, abort mission. Oh, he had Grass Gem on it. Abort mission. Maybe Noctowl's free here? I want to have no friends on this account, Bacon. I wanted to just keep it, like, really solo. I'm sorry, man. Hope you understand. Okay, Giga Drain crit shouldn't kill me. I should be safe to Air Slash here. I missed the Air Slash. 95% accuracy. Sludge Bomb comes in doing 40% damage. I've got to switch out again. Now, the first trainer in Erika's gym was a pretty easy, clean sweep, but the second one here was a little bit of a different story. Let's see what Beauty Bridget did to me. Sunflora. Now, this is a Pokemon I'm a little scared of. Special moves, except for Vine Whip. Gotta bring up the damage calculator. Can I live a Vine Whip? Wait, Sunflora's just grass type, right? It's not poison, so I'm not gonna be doing super effective damage. Okay, I should be good to side beam here. 52%. Show me some weak damage, Sunflora. Giga Drain does 51. Yikers. We are getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting out of here. I repeat, abort mission. Oh, he had Grass Gem on it. Abort mission. Maybe Noctowl is free here? I want to have no friends on this account, Bacon. I want to just keep it, like, really solo. I'm sorry, man. Hope you understand. Okay, Giga Drain crit shouldn't kill me. I should be safe to Air Slash here. I missed the Air Slash. 95% accuracy. Sludge Bomb comes in doing 40% damage. I've got to switch out again. Aura is actually obliterating me. I think I go Magneton here. Holy shit, guys. Sludge Bomb thankfully doesn't affect. So I could actually go for a, I think I'm going to go ahead and go for a Super Potion on my Alakazam. Giga Drain does 32%. Yeah, this is getting real very quickly. True. Mirror Shot. Only 31%. Are you kidding me? Why is this Sunflora so impossible for my team to deal with? Are you kidding me? How do I beat this? I'm gonna Super Potion my Magnemite here. I have to get a T-Wave off. 36%. Here again. I think I'm going to go ahead and make the switch to Venusaur here. Giga Drain should do literally no damage. Yep, literally nothing. Who would win? Pokemon player with 10 years of experience or a pretty flower? The world may never know. I'm going to go ahead and go for a growth here, I believe. He goes for the switch. Huge for me. Skiploom comes in. Now, Skiploom 4 times resist me, right? I think it's grass flying. Should... I'm going to go Golem here. Skiploom should go for the flying type move. Why would a Giga Drain there? What? Okay, am I crazy or is that a tilter? Why would a Giga Drain there? Why? I 4 times... Giga Drained into a 4 times resist. In the face of a 4 times resist. Holy shit, this is insane. Oh my god, yeah, I was scared of Flying Gym Acrobatics or something like that. It just Giga Drained in my face. Gonna heal Golem here. I'm gonna Seed Bomb. 20%, I'll take it. Terrifying, it's terrifying. My best bet is just gonna be able to play the long game. Like, this is a trainer, this is a disciple leading up to Erika. This isn't even Erika. This is how difficult this fight is going to be. He switches out. Bellsprout comes in. Takes 31%. Is that a crit? It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. I should be good to Seed Bomb here. Okay, the AI is absolutely floundering. Absolutely floundering. Does it not have a flying type attack? The AI doesn't know what to do. The AI is panicking. AI is absolutely losing its shit. Literally going bananas. Grass Whistle. I don't even think that affects me. Because I'm grass type. Okay, the monstrous Sunflora is taken care of largely due to AI insanity. It is insane how... What is happening? It is insane how difficult this fight has been. Seed Bomb, what attack does he have? I'm scared. Don't have a flying type attack. Okay. What? Okay, the AI absolutely floundered for whatever reason. Oh my god. As you guys can see, this fight was terrifying and I was freaking out, a lot of panic going on, and a huge reason, like one of the only reasons I was able to complete this fight was due to the AI just breaking for whatever reason, making all of those random switches, allowing me to get a ton of free damage off with the seed bombs. I truly don't know what happened. You don't often see Pokemon AI act like this, or PokeMMO AI act like this. It was pretty shocking, pretty surprising, but we'll call it some dumb Patrouski luck, and I guess move on to the future trainers in this gym. But after a very scary battle, we do defeat the Sunflora trainer. I prepared so much for this. I'm really hoping it's easy from this point on. We do have level 37 Alakazam. The scariest Pokemon to deal with is going to be Blossom. Let's jump into it. So unfortunately, there was one more stream before the Erika fight that I didn't cover, unfortunately. And a couple things happened in that. As you can see in my party, I picked up Snorlax. I picked up a Slugma, which is the encounter to the west of Fuchsia, down there near that Safari Zone City encounter, obviously. And then I leveled up my Alakazam. I spent a lot of time grinding in Lavender Tower and doing those single encounters. Leveled up my Alakazam to level 37, which was absolutely huge for this fight. So I spent a long time preparing for this fight. Since after that Sunflora clip, that Sunflora fight, just it terrified me. It petrified me. So I wanted to make sure I played it smart. Took it slow. Leveled my Alakazam fully all the way up, safely and smartly. Picked up my Snorlax as a backup. And then got that Slugma as a Fire-type Pokemon to be able to support me a little bit as well. And then from there on out, the rest of the fight was pretty simple. Natural Gift is 35. Okay. We're fine. So, easy. Easy. That was the scariest Pokemon, I think, in this battle. Plume. Pretty sure I one-shot this thing, but I'm going to double-check. Out of here. Obliterated. Destroyed. Alakazam putting in the work. Whew. Yeah, this is going to be an easy win because I took so much time to prepare for it. And I was very, very terrified of this fight. There we go. The Erika fight was, once again, easy because I spent so much time and effort and energy and preparation and planning for it. Alright, with Erika defeated, we head down back to Fuchsia City to head into the Safari Zone and try to get our Safari Zone encounter, while also obviously getting access to HM Surf and everything of the like. Safari Zone really unlocks a lot of things. You get access to HM Strength and Surf, technically, through it by picking up the Warden's Gold Teeth and everything. So, I haven't gotten my encounter yet. So, here is my first encounter, I believe, in the Safari Zone. And it is the Lickitung, which I'm super, super excited for. Just a really funny Pokemon. I love Lickitung. Really cool Pokemon. We do go on to not catch it. Unfortunately, Lickitung is a pretty difficult Pokemon to capture in the Safari Zone. So, that does essentially waste our Safari encounter. We did have a couple chances, I believe 2 or 3 Pokeballs, but we couldn't get it in. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. The Safari Zone encounter wasn't the most important thing in the world, so I wasn't too broken up about it. I'll let you guys go ahead and see the failed catch here. Around a little bit, it might flee here. We lose our Safari encounter. That was most likely to happen, though. That's okay. Encounter would have been Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan would have been insane for the Nuzlocke. Actually bonkers. We got pretty lucky. Did pretty good. Not bad, not bad. I'll grab this one. Quick Claw. Grabbing held items and stuff is super relevant in here. Legendary? Yeah, I believe so too. I'm happy to hear that. Is this the Surf? There we go. HM3 Surf. Surf is also so good, dude. A 90 base power water, 100% accuracy special move. Literally so good. The problem is, do I have any Surf Pokemon can learn Surf? Oh my god, Snorlax can learn Surf? That's hilarious. I like Snore, I think, here. That's really funny. Oh, I need the badge, though. I forgot. Okay. Hey, Ding Dong, Safari runs over. I'm going to go ahead and go give the old man his teeth. I know he's down here in this area. You get 2 HMs back to back in Fuchsia City, which is so funny. Really weird design. Over takedown on honestly, no, I'd rather have body slam. I could teach it over takedown here. Yeah, I definitely want it over takedown. It's more consistent. Honestly, just the better move even. That's incredible. Yo, congrats, Karen. That's awesome. A rare candy there. Nice. So we have what, 4 rare candy, I think? 3 or 4. Alright, once I got both the HMs and talked to that old dude, I kind of headed over to Route 15 to just battle all the trainers and get some more encounters and get my groundings. Now, over here, a viewer asked a really good question that actually brought up a rule that I forgot to mention at the start of this video. A very niche rule, niche to PokeMMO, but if you were curious about it, here's the answer. Is there a swarm on Kanto route? Does it count as a static encounter or as a counter of the route? Static encounters are separate encounters. I count them as separate encounters. Is there a swarm on Kanto route? Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry. You're saying if there's a swarm. So my rule with swarms was that if I encounter a swarm randomly and it's not called out to me, I'm allowed to catch one of the Pokemon. I'm not allowed to like specifically sit around swarm spots and like try to farm for one. So if you were curious about that, hopefully that answers that question. Basically what I said was swarms are a unique mechanic in PokeMMO where the Pokemon sprites will appear in the overworld and there's sort of a random event, random encounter where you can catch special Pokemon. Sometimes there might be like a Chansey swarm on like Route 17 in Kanto, and that's really rare, and that would obviously be super powerful to a Nuzlocke. Now, it would be really lame if I could just camp that spot or wait for a Chansey swarm to eventually happen to be able to get one. That would be kind of OP, right? So my ruling on it was like they're a fun mechanic that I do want to take advantage of, so if I do just happen to encounter one totally randomly and naturally, I'll go ahead and catch one of them. I'm allowed to catch one of the 4 overworld sprites, but from there on out, that's pretty much it. And I ended up not encountering any swarms throughout this run, so it didn't come up, but I thought it was a really cool rule to put into place for a really niche PokeMMO mechanic. I then go back to grinding Route 15 for my encounter. I'm actually looking for a Quagsire encounter here because obviously his typing is really good. He can be a really powerful Nuzlocke Pokemon. Venonat, that's not Species Claws, that is my encounter. That's a rare encounter, which is funny. I don't have a Venonat or a Venomoth. Honestly, a good Pokemon to catch. Timid, Brave, so bad. Brave is so bad. My natures have been abysmal. 28 special attack is good, but the 4 speed with the Brave nature. Killing me here, Smalls. Alright, so I pretty much battled through that route to the east of Fuchsia, get a ton of XP on my Alakazam, just psychicking through everything, and then go to Route 14 to get my encounter, which ends up being a Ditto. I actually have a Ditto caught. The reason this shows this is because someone traded me a Ditto. I'm gonna Leech Seed, I think. Which is a little scary, but it's fine. Someone traded me a Ditto when I was doing the trade evolve for Alakazam / Golem, but this actually is good for me. Oh my god, I'm stupid. I let it transform into my Venusaur, and now I can't Sleep Powder it. Oh, that was dumb. Here again. I might not be able to catch it, honestly. There's like 2 or 3 more chances. If I lose Ditto, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world. It's really bad. I will not be using it. It's really trash. This is my last chance to catch it. Did not think that would happen. What I should have done here is I should have swapped to Magnemite to Thunder Wave it. If I don't catch it here, I lose it. I lost my Ditto encounter. That's okay. Literally might be like the best encounter to lose. Ditto is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, rest in peace. That's okay. So we lose our Route 14 encounter, but that's how it goes. I guess our second encounter lost since we lost the Safari encounter as well. Alright, so as you can see, I failed the Ditto encounter, but you know what, not a big deal. I then go on to Route 13, look for my encounter here, and I keep getting Species Claws, and I decide that I actually want to save this encounter after farming for a second. So I end up saving this encounter until I get Super Rod, and then I can actually just Super Rod on Route 13, and that'll give me access to a more diverse Pokemon pool that might actually be helpful. So I kind of just delay that encounter for the access to Super Rod, like I said. Alright, so after that stream, moving on to the next one, I headed back to Fuchsia City, and I wanted to pick up the item finder from one of Professor Oak's aides throughout Kanto, because that is going to allow me to go over back to those Snorlax locations and pick up the 2 leftovers that are hidden there, which, if you don't know about, are super important. So if you do a Kanto run, make sure to get the item finder, make sure to dig under the spots to get those leftovers. Really important, powerful item, and definitely helped out this Nuzlocke especially a ton. I then go ahead and keybind the item finder and use it and pick up one of the most powerful items in all of Pokemon. So really happy to acquire that first leftovers and then head to the left of Celadon and obviously pick up the second one. If you don't know about the leftovers, once again, they're just right under the locations and tiles where the Snorlaxes used to be. So just head over to them, as you can see me doing here. Pick them up with the item finder. Really important items. Really easy to get them for. It's really nice to get them for free throughout the storyline. So make sure to pick them up. From this point on, it's all about planning and preparing for my next big challenge, which is Koga. So I'll let you guys kind of listen into some of my thought process on it here. Figure out Koga. Koga PokeMMO. Koga is a really scary gym leader because I'm pretty sure he uses like red cards and stuff. It's like really disruptive and scary. What does Koga have? So Koga has level 43 Crobat. Fucking terrifying. With Shadow Ball. Holy shit. Can my Alakazam ever outspeed that Crobat? Crobat's base speed is what? Like 150... Let me showdown calc this. Can I ever get my Alakazam to outspeed that Crobat? Is a huge question. My Golem might actually be able to sweep Koga. If I can get a Rock Polish off, the issue is red card, dude. Like, the issue is... Yeah, no, the issue is, like, even if I set up with Golem, the red card Venomoth's always going to switch me out. Alright, after doing a bit of planning and preparations, I figure out that I just need to go ahead and get some levels on the Pokemon and prepare myself properly for Koga. So I end up heading over to Route 12 and Route 13, and I battle pretty much every fishing trainer along the boardwalk, and then I also want to go ahead and do a fishing encounter or two. Go ahead and get the Route 12 encounter. Wish me luck, guys. Looking for a Horsey / Seadra. Slowpoke would be fantastic. Krabby's not great, I'll be honest. Holy fuck, Crawdon's so bad in PokeMMO. Okay. This Kingler is like the best Pokemon I've caught, this Krabby. Brave Nature is actually really good. 31 attack, 20 plus in all defenses, plus 20 plus speed. What the fuck? This is so good. Even though that Krabby was incredible statistically, it's just such a weak Pokemon, and I just can't run it, man. Kingler having that, like, brutal, like, 35 special defense IV, or base stat, excuse me, essentially just lets it get obliterated by pretty much anything, and it just ends up not even doing enough damage as well, so I am just really... The crabs in PokeMMO are pretty bad. Kingler, and you heard me talk about Crawdon for a second. Kingler and Crawdon are pretty terrible in this game, unfortunately. I still have a Route 13 encounter, and I remember I opted for going for a fishing encounter here. I actually don't want a grass encounter, because I was at the grass earlier and I decided not to. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start fishing here. So we're going to fish for our Route 13 encounter. So I remember running in the grass here, finding a duplicate, so it was duplicate or species clause. Okay, here's our Route 13 encounter. Yes! We do get the Horsey. That's so good. It's an uncommon encounter, so it's not the rarest thing in the world, but it's literally what I wanted from these two routes. There was 2 chances at the Horsey, and we got it. I'm going to Leech Seed once again. Alright, so with a lot of planning, thankfully we do get a really good encounter. I wanted either Quagsire or Horsey here. I think I later ended up deciding that Horsey was a lot better because Kendra's typing is so good for the rest of the entire game. Being Dragon and Water typing is incredible in PokeMMO. It's pretty much, it dodges all of those huge water weaknesses and resists a lot of things like electric attacks and grass attacks. There's not too many dragon type Pokemon to really worry about, obviously, in Gen 1. So Kendra is just really, really OP in Gen 1. There's a reason why it was added later on and Kendra wasn't in Gen 1. Only went up to Seadra. It was a later evolution. It's a really, really powerful Pokemon in Kanto. So if you can pick one up for your playthrough, I heavily recommend it. It's just so good at tanking everything and doing so much damage, especially if you can set up Rain Dance with it, which is, you know, spoilers alert, a huge strategy that comes on later into this game. And this Horsey might have literally been the most, even though it's statistically horrible, it was the MVP of the run. This Horsey / Kendra goes on to be the most powerful thing I could have ever got my hands on. At this point, now that I have the fishing rod, I also just head back over to Vermilion City and go ahead and get my encounter there within the city, since that wasn't a route that I've obviously been able to even encounter a Pokemon on yet up until this point. I get a Slowpoke encounter, which is honestly really good. Slowpoke has a pretty good typing and will help me in a lot of this later game. Maybe even be a really core part of a really important part of the late game if you guys stick around for long enough to see that. Now, the Slowbro stats are honestly pretty terrible. Hasty Nature, 31 HP. 31 HP is obviously fantastic, but the Hasty Nature is really bad. Obviously, adding speed to a Slowbro isn't really going to help it much, and then subtracting from its defense is going to hurt it a lot. So, unfortunately, not the best stats, but 31 HP is not bad. It could be worse, so it is usable at least. If it was like 0 HP or like 5 or below HP with Hasty Nature and like all these stats, it might have been unusable, or it really would have hurt it a lot. Its bulk is really important, and its special attack is obviously super important, but thankfully it was usable at least. Alright, but at this point, now that I have all my encounters ready to go and I have all my kind of team and Pokemon lined up that I want to use, I go ahead and head over to this Nidorino Sweet Scent spot to the east of Fuchsia. And this is a really good spot for XP. I spent a lot of time here leveling up Pokemon with my Golem, either leading them and switching to Golem, or just leading Golem and leveling him up. I also wanted to go for the XP share around this location, so I don't have access to that yet. And getting access to the XP share is going to make farming XP for the rest of the run so much easier. I obviously go ahead and give up on learning Explosion there, as Explosion's not very good in Nuzlocke, because if you were to kill your Pokemon, it would be used, obviously you would lose it forever, so don't want to go ahead and pick up that move here. But yeah, Nidorino Hordes and leveling up my Pokemon to get XP shares is super important. Getting XP share in this run was a really interesting decision that I didn't think I would end up making, but I actually did. It was really interesting. So I ended up leveling up Pokemon and evolving them, and thankfully I was able to reach around 50 different species by, obviously I had a lot of 3 evolution stage Pokemon, things like Golem, things like Alakazam, things like the Oddish, obviously Venusaur, my starter. There's a lot of Pokemon that I had that had multiple evolutions, which really helped with filling out the decks to reach those 50 entries for XP share. I don't know if XP share is a viable route or method for every single Nuzlocke, but really overjoyed that it worked in this one, because holy shit, XP farming in this Nuzlocke is the worst part of it. So anything to streamline it is super welcomed. Now, after some safe leveling, we do go ahead and get our Krabby evolved into a Kingler, but it's not going to be super relevant. I pretty much just got him for the Dex entry. I don't think I'm going to show you guys all the Pokemon I just kind of leveled just to get the Dex entries to farm for that XP share. I'm going to skip to you guys to give you guys the meaty stuff, and I'll show you guys once I get that XP share. I will go ahead and show you guys this evolution, though, because this was obviously such an important core member of our team. Getting Horsey evolved into Seadra was fantastic, but from this point on, I had to figure out how to get a Dragon Scale to evolve into Kingdra, and I had no idea how to do that. I had to do a bit of research from this point on. There we go, level 37 for evolving to Slowbro. There we go, another Evo, another Dex entry towards the XP share. Alright, after a ton of grinding and evolutions, we head back over to Viridian City to go ahead and get one of our last encounters here. Once again, to just kind of fill a deck to entry, we go ahead and just pick up a Poliwag in Viridian City Pond. I appreciate you guys, thank you so much. There's our Poliwag encounter, our Viridian City encounter. I'll absolutely take it. There we go, Poliwag caught. That'll put us at 50 caught or owned OT Pokemon. Incredible. XP and getting levels on them, so... yes, thank you. XP share achieved on a Nuzlocke Arena. That'll be a huge safety net. Alright, now that I have XP share, this opens up a ton of different training opportunities. And I actually head over to Route 16 to actually... I will say, I break the rules slightly here, gentlemen. And I hope you can forgive me. I do specifically EV train my Alakazam here to get some speed EVs. I do still kill all the Grimers and everything, get some HP EVs, whatever, but I specifically wanted to get, I believe it was up to like 78 or something. It was a very specific amount of speed EVs on my Alakazam to give him just 1 speed point above the Koga's Crobat to be able to outspeed it. I thought this was fair. I think using EV strategically like this, to a small extent. I don't want to ever do a Nuzlocke where I'm EV training Pokemon like 252 attack, 252 speed, or 252 special attack, 252 speed. I think it's just too strong. Like if you're putting maximum EV efficiency into a Nuzlocke, it's just too strong. But I do think that lightly using it here to reach a certain checkpoint that I had strategically calced out was a fair use of this. If you guys disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I think that's super fair. I definitely made up a lot of these rules as I went. I held to them pretty strong. I wanted this to be a really genuine, Nuzlocke, and I wanted it to be a really balanced experience that I created. And I hopefully some of you guys might even, recreate this. Some of you guys might do your own Nuzlocke, and I'd be super happy to see that. And obviously just do whatever rules and do whatever you guys think fits best. I want you guys to have the best Pokemon experience or PokeMMO experience you possibly can, right? I want it to be fun. I want it to be strategic. I want it to feel skill-based. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the spiel. Let's go ahead and get back into the gameplay. Surprising. I didn't expect to do this today, but I think I am. I'm gonna go ahead and take the XP share off this thing. Put a Twisted Spoon on it. Probably put XP share on some other Pokemon. Maybe Venusaur? Or Snorlax? Probably Snorlax. Or Venusaur. We'll do Venusaur. Or we could do Blossom, but okay. Let me get my full team ready for this. Like, I don't think I want Blossom / Noctowl for this. I don't think they're gonna be useful at all. I definitely want Slowbro for this. 1000%. Holy. Probably Magnemite. I'm a little scared to lose this thing. I could bring... do I have an Intimidate? I have that Gyarados for Intimidate. Well, I could bring that. I feel like that's actually not bad. I can just Psychic it and probably one-shot, right? Okay, never mind, we're fine. That was probably the scariest Pokemon in this gym, which is hilarious. Knows how to come out. I think I have to switch. This thing has Thunder Punch, Wake Up Slap, Psy Beam. Go Golem. Toxic. Little scary, not gonna lie. I thought about Teleport, but I don't think it's... I'd rather not tank the move on my Zam. I just EQ from this point on. EQ one-shots, easy. Easy peasy. So, Haunter's gonna come in. And this thing is gonna have Hex, Sucker Punch, Confuse Ray. Which is actually kind of scary. Like, there's... I don't want to risk shit, dude. I think I go Snorlax here. I think Snorlax hard counters this thing. Toxic. I'm just playing this really, really safe. What a music cat jam, true. Confuse Ray is pretty annoying. Whew. I should be able to finish it off here. Perfect. Okay. Whew. Okay. These fights are still scary, which is crazy. It's possible I get one shot by like crit or something. Gunshot 44. Wow. That's okay. Psychic might one shot here. I actually don't one shot. Ouch. My Slowbro is pretty weak. I have to make a switch here, obviously. He either goes for Gunshot or Crunch. Either way, I can go Magnemite pretty safely here. Yeah. Magnemite's super safe here. Seed Bomb or Seed Bomb. I either try attack or I think a Mirror Shot. With Mirror Shot, I risked missing. Attack. Okay, that really scared me. My heart jumped, not gonna lie. I was pretty scared of EQ. With Tri Attack, if he goes into Sand Slash, Tri Attack's pretty bad, but this thing outsped, which is annoying. I'm so low level on this thing, I guess. Okay, I need to find a way. I'm just scared of Sand Slash. Yeah, this is the thing I'm scared of the most here. So this thing obviously is going to go for like an EQ or something. I'm going to go into Venusaur here always and look for a Giga Drain. Drill Run, 37%. Serious damage. Oh, a Seed Bomb. Yeah, Seed Bomb, not what's it called. Only 54%. Please don't kill my Venusaur in some weird way. Oh my god, your Facade. Dude, it's so scary. What are the odds he has Quick Attack? And this thing, Gate Quick Attack, I should be way faster, right? Oh, it's so scary though, dude. That crit would have been really good the first turn. Which I don't think would have mattered. Oh, dude. As you guys can see, these trainers leading up to Koga were no joke. I almost lost my Venusaur on the way here. It was really, really scary stuff. My Slowbro was also super crippled. It's hard to switch into these guys. They have insane, legitimate strats. Like this Sand Slash having access to Toxic Orb Facade is so funny. Like these are strats that are actually being implemented just in trainer battles and that would never be implemented anything of this severity in a normal Pokemon game. So it's just really scary sometimes. You got to play around stuff that you would never normally think about in PokeMMO. Beating Koga divs us a lot. He's one of the scariest gym leaders in this run, especially with Venusaur as my starting Pokemon. But with the power of Alakazam, we might just be able to obliterate him and stomp him into the dust as we one-shot his Weezing. It's a good start. Thank you. Crobat is a very fast Pokemon. Alakazam is pretty fast too, but Crobat's faster. But remember, we brought up showdown damage calculations, and we made sure to get the right amount of speed EVs as well as the right amount of levels to be able to outspeed Crobat, and there we go. All of that preparation pays off. Signal Beam should also not be able to kill me even with crit. Perfect. Doing anything, but Koga has been one of the easiest gyms yet due to all of that preparation. Yeah, the Weezing has self-destruct, which is scary. That thing definitely KOs my Alakazam with a self-destruct, I'm pretty sure. Very defensively for. There we go. Soul Badge. A little bit of Pokeyen. We get access to the TM Toxic, I believe. There it is, folks. Alright, with enough preparation, Koga was really, really easy, which you're always happy to see. Now we go ahead and head over to the power plant to do a couple of things. I want to get my encounter here, maybe hoping for like a Pikachu or something of the sort. And then evolving my Magneton into Magnezone. I can finally do that because of the level cap I was granted from Koga. So a lot of things coming in handy here. It's funny that I do get a Magneton encounter here, so I actually would have gotten a Magneton if I didn't catch that Magnemite earlier. But you know, you can never count on that. So, but it was cool to see that encounter. Is my power plant encounter officially? Not bad, I'll take it. Like, Electrode's obviously really fast. I can use it to like set up screens or do some sort of like cheese strategy to like set up for my team. I can use it as a fast taunter or like a T-waver. It's not terrible by any means. I'm gonna go ahead and Leech Seed and then. Wait, I think this is it, boys. Here it is. Magnezone. This is a huge Pokemon. This is a very good Pokemon to get. Nice. Beautiful. Alright, so we picked up our power plant encounter, got our Magnezone, and just headed out to kind of chill for a sec. We actually had a viewer going through his own PokeMMO Nuzlocke at the time and was currently battling through the Elite Four. So we were really cheering him on in chat. Unfortunately, the PokeMMO Nuzlocke is a really difficult mistress, and he did end up failing at around Lance or his rival battle, I believe, in the Elite Four. Really sad, really unfortunate, but you know what? It shows that this is a difficult challenge, and there's a reason I played it so safe. And I really recommend you guys going to try it yourself to see how difficult it can be without the proper preparations. Alright, after all of that, the next day I go ahead and head over to Saffron City for the first time, pick up my Hitmonlee. I don't think I'm going to be using it, but it could be relevant against certain trainers and stuff like that, so definitely nice to pick up. I really easily blasted through all of the trainers in there with my Alakazam, just psychic spamming through everything, but if you don't have an Alakazam, it might be a lot tougher, so please do be aware of that. From there, I finally make my way into Silph Co and want to start battling down it. Definitely not excited for this one. A really tough long dungeon, and I kind of just want to get through it as fast as possible. So I looked up a bit of a guide. To some extent, got a lot of help from my viewers, and just started working my way down the elevator. It took me a long time to work through all of Silph Co. I want to say over 2 to 3 hours, maybe. It was a lot of just battling a trainer here, maybe battling 2 trainers there, and then elevatoring back up just to go heal. I played it really safe, and it was a lot of running back and forth, but I finally made it to my rival battle, which I was a little worried about, but Magnezone should be able to do a lot of damage in this fight, and I can also pick up my Lapras after. I'm going to go for it. I think I'm ready. I have no XP. Okay. I think I'm ready. Wish me luck, guys. I'm a little scared here. I feel like I haven't prepared for this quite enough. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I haven't prepared for this quite enough, but we will see. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little, but I feel like this is one I haven't prepared for as much as other battles. This should KO for sure. That should be easy. Now, what is the next Pokemon he's bringing in? So Charizard comes in. So I need to know if Flamethrower kills me. I'm gonna check this. Oh yeah, I think it does. 83 to 93. Oh yeah, I think I die. I have to. I mean, I can put in my. Yeah, no, I die. I actually always die to this Flamethrower. Holy shit, that's crazy how powerful that is. Okay, what about Golem? Damage essentially from this thing. I think I just always go Golem here, and then I think I rock Polish. I wanted to think it through, because I know that Golem has a pretty low special defense stat, but I should be able to tank this pretty well. I think nothing should ever kill me here. I think he's going to switch. But I'm scared of me not being able to kill his Gyarados with a Rock Blast, or if I'm faster. I'm just going to Rock Blast. This is fine. I'm just going to Rock Blast. If I miss here, it's really bad. The crit is fine. Yes, okay. It's really good. That's really good. Okay, we should be fine. So he does have Leafeon. That's actually crazy. That is pretty crazy he has Leafeon here. So he's going to double kick here. He double kicks here every time. Every time. I actually want to calc versus Alakazam. Because if I can bring Alakazam in here for free, it's really good. Switch into, I'm going to make the switch here. Yeah, Dennis is very good. Razor Leaf. Did not expect that. Really scary. Not gonna lie. This thing, I can't go for this. Fuck. I have to go Magnezone. I can't justify. Because if he crits, I die. And I think this, I die 100%. I think this thing has a raised crit chance. I have to switch here. Alright, fight's looking a little scary. I could have gone Venusaur here. But it's a weird battle from that point on. Because obviously I'm doing no damage. I just flash cannon here. I should always be faster. I might KO. Double kick shouldn't do that much. Yeah, I know double kick is super effective, but it doesn't do that much. It's fine. Flashing does 62. Yeah, Leaf Blade's really going to be scary later on. On a ton of different Pokemon, essentially. I always want to look to start potioning here. So I'm going to super potion here first. Heal up pretty high. Synthesis, that's fine. I'm actually super okay with that. He outspeeds me, which is really annoying. He outspeeds me, so he's always going to get synthesis off. I can just flash cannon here, though. He has no synthesis, so I can just flash cannon and keep doing that. I could T-Wave it or try attack. I thought about that. Or, like, discharge to get the para, but... Oh, yeah, I guess getting the T-Wave is 100% safe, right? Because it'll make it slower than me. I'm going to T-Wave. You're right. Good call. Yeah, T-Wave is 100% safe. I could flash cannon and keep wearing it down, but... Yeah, if I T-Wave here, flash cannon is also in a range to kill. I think I can just kill it here. Nice. Perfect. I could have used a potion there, maybe. But then he's going to synthesis. It's a weird meme. Okay. What are his last two pokes again? He has Gyarados left, which won't be able to do anything to this thing. Alakazam is scary. Alakazam has Psychic. What are the odds this thing has fucking Focus Blast? 0, right? Probably really wants to potion here. And just check to see what it goes for. I'm going to super potion here. Psychic does not... Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. I thought it's pretty much just Psychic. Okay. I'm always just discharging here. Discharge probably one-shots. Not quite. Not quite. Big battles, like, don't like, they do whatever the fuck. The big battles do whatever the fuck. So he's going to recover. I'm actually going to keep discharging because it has a 30% chance to para. Instead of just going for the T-Wave, I'm really safe to just discharge here and keep putting him down into recover range. Yeah, I'm safe to just infinitely discharge here. Just range. Part of me really wants to potion here. Just last Pokemon should be Gyarados. Waterfall should be safe to bites just straight up discharge against. I'm gonna go for the discharge. I shouldn't be too scared. Waterfall did do a lot, and it could flinch. He does get the flinch. Pretty frustrating, but at the same time, we just throw up a potion. And I should be good. That's a high roll. Is that a crit? That might be a crit. Yep, that's a crit. So I got a potion again. Part of me wants to hyper potion here, but I don't think I need to. I think I can just forever super potion. I want to preserve that hyper potion. Waterfall is 30% there. So if he crits again, he can do 45. I'm always safe here. I can always discharge. Just don't flinch here again. It's 20% chance. Just don't flinch here again. There we go. Whew, pretty scary fight. But we took care of Gary. Ready for boss? I didn't realize Gary was, like, working under Giovanni in this. So weird. Alright, with Gary taken care of after some pretty smart plays, in my opinion, I was pretty happy with how I handled that. I played it really safe, played it really smart, played around crits in a good spot. Yeah, I think it just turned out really well. And that was a fight that I definitely underprepared for slightly, so can't be too bad about that outcome now. It's just time to prepare and head down to the lowest floor for Giovanni. Now, this Giovanni fight ended up being a little bit of a meme, and you guys will see why in a quick sec here. After I defeated these grunts, I went on and headed quickly inside the doors. Wait, is this Giovanni? No! I'm so not ready. I didn't think I would just be put into the fight. You're fine just going blind? I kind of did. So without preparing for the fight, I ended up just accidentally walking forward a little too much and triggering the fight. So that was a huge mistake by me. So I panic a little bit, figure out what's going on, and try to grab my bearings. I didn't heal up my Venusaur. I really wish he was 100% HP here. That would actually play a really, really big role in this fight. And I don't have the proper lead. So a lot of bad stuff happened here, and this was a really good opportunity to lose the run. Which is insane. I'm going to Leech Seed here and hope for the best. That's honestly good. Actually not bad. Actually not bad. My heart, dude. Actually not terrible. Oh my god, and it puts me above range. Does that put me out of crit range? I don't think so. I think I need a potion here. I don't have that many potions this fight. I'm going to super potion here. I'm going to look to set up with my Venusaur, I think. But it's doing so much damage to me. I don't know if that's a viable strategy. Crit will do like 60% to me. Okay, I'm out of crit range. And I have my leftovers proc. Okay, I can growth here. This thing has Lumberry. There's no reason to, what's it called here? Honchkrow comes in. This thing has Drill Peck or whatever. Straight up just Seed Bomb. I don't think he ever kills me. 35%. I don't think he ever kills me. Oh my god, but it's really close. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god, but it's really close. It's hard to see in that clip, but my Venusaur got hit down to 3 HP, like 1 or 2%. I cannot believe I almost lost. There were so many times in this Nuzlocke I almost lost crucial Pokemon, and this was one of the biggest. I cannot believe I almost lost. I can't believe I didn't think about Heat Wave. It was just, this was shocking, devastating, tragic, beautiful, whatever you want to call it. This was terrifying. Heat Wave? That wasn't on the wiki. Dude, this fight is so... I was so not ready for this fight. I'm so not ready for this fight. Fuck this fight, dude. I'm probably going to lose a Pokemon here. Ice Beam, Sludge Bomb, Superpower, Flamethrower. He's probably going to Superpower. Ezra here. Ezra's so low level. Does Bacon tank 1 superpower? I need to get my calc up, bro. I sat facing down this Nidoqueen for a good 3 to 5 minutes, calculating things and figuring things out and playing before making my decision, because I was in a terrible, terrible spot. My Venusaur, basically 3 HP, 10 HP. My Magnezone in a one-shot territory. Two of my strongest Pokemon were totally crushed. It was really, really hard to bring in my Alakazam. It's obviously a very frail Pokemon. My Snorlax and Noctowl aren't really doing much. They're pretty much sacrificial pieces. I need to figure out a way to bring in my Golem or bring in my Alakazam without losing too much momentum. Losing a little more could cost me the whole fight. It can tank Superpower. Superpower will do 25% to it. The burn is literally does not matter. Actually does not matter. I go for a Psychic here. I'm literally, guys, the Kangaskhan's scary. The Kangaskhan's a normal type gym. I think I go Golem to tank it guaranteed and like Hyper Potion. Normal type gym. I think I go Golem. I think I go Golem here. And then Potion up. I'm like so scared, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That did no damage. Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna Brock Polish. And try to sweep from here. Brick Break should not KO me. That has Retaliate. Is that true? Brick Break does nothing. Okay. We're actually in good position. But do I need to? Does it matter? Can I just EQ? EQ doesn't kill. So now we Potion. That's crazy. Whew. We could also use this position to like Hyper Potion something else. This is a winning snowball. Yeah, I think it's good. Holy fuck, this fight was terrifying. I'm gonna Super Potion here. And then like Super Potion my Golem, I think. Yeah, I need to, yes, good call. I need to stock more potions. I thought about Hyper Potioning Venusaur, but I don't think I'm gonna need it this fight, but we shall see. Whoa, I hope I don't need it, is the meme. We'll see. This is terrifying. Nidoking comes and I'm faster and I EQ this thing. What's the last Pokemon? Rhyhorn, I think? I think it's Rhyhorn with like Zap Cannon. I think we win. I think it's over. I think it's over, boys. I think we did it. Let's go. Holy fuck. That fight was terrifying. We almost lost so many different Pokemon. That meme is so shit. We're like, holy fuck, that fight was actually terrifying. We almost, like, if we almost lose the run there. Like, we actually almost lost the run so many times there. Wasn't even close. True. Yeah, dude, the fucking face. The fucking, like, holy shit. Like, oh. I think my expressions, emotions, and everything, that clip should pretty much tell you guys how I'm feeling. So then I go ahead and pick up my Master Ball, and then I put all my Pokemon in the PC and pull them back out of the PC for a quick free heal. And that wraps up Silph Co. But man, was it close. Man, was it scary. As I was saying, today we're actually making our way down to Cinnabar Island on the Nuzlocke Reno account because there's something there that I want to get. There's something at Cinnabar Island that I want to achieve. But that also means, I'm turning my music down a little bit, that also means we're going to be getting some more encounters. Because there's going to be encounters, you know, on the way to Cinnabar Island, a bunch of wild Pokemon encounters. So we are going to be catching some more Pokemon to add to our Nuzlocke collection, obviously. And then we're going to be making our way down to Cinnabar Island to specifically get a huge TM. We're essentially preparing for Sabrina, and the Shadow Ball TM is at Cinnabar Island. So I'm going to make my way down to Cinnabar Island, pick up the Shadow Ball TM, teach it to my Alakazam, and Alakazam with Psychic and Shadow Ball should be able to sweep through all of Sabrina and all of her fucking lackeys and everything. So it should be a pretty easy fight once I get access to Shadow Ball, which will be huge. Alright, so as I start making my way down to Cinnabar Island, I do go ahead and pick up a tentacle encounter, which I'll happily take, and actually goes working into my later game team composition quite well. So honestly, looking back, I was like kind of medium neutral about this encounter, but this was a pretty fantastic encounter to get. You're always going to get a tentacle. Tentacle are so common in the water. You're always going to get one, but even so, this was a good one to get for my team, so I was happy about it. The Poliwag, that'd be a good one. Okay, so we're going to get an encounter here on Route 21. I don't know what Pokemon are here. It's crazy how many dupe slash species calls I'm getting. Now, yeah, Tangela I knew was here. So Tangela, this is a really nostalgic spot, actually, this Tangela spot. People used to use this Tangela spot back in the day. This used to be one of the best XP spots in PokeMMO way back in the day. I think it had like level 55 Tangela or something here. Now it's not. It's way different. But this was like one of the best. This was the best XP spot back in the day before Hordes existed, which is really crazy. There we go. Literally almost lost my Magnezone to a stupid encounter catch, because of how difficult this thing was to bring down. Who wants this monstrous... Like, I feel like this thing needs to be named like Godzilla or some insane shit. But here we are, finally reaching land, making our way down to Cinnabar Islands. Now it's just time to head to the Pokemart and pick up that Shadow Ball ASAP. I'm pretty sure Shadow Ball is here. This is what we came here for. Lot of good moves here. Yes. Dude, there's actually so many good TMs. Vault switches here. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. There's actually so many good TMs here. Wow. Sludge Wave? Oh man, can this thing learn Sludge Wave? I don't think so, but I know it can learn Sludge Bomb though. That'd be so huge for Venusaur. Yo, what's up? Wow, Life Support, do I watch it then? Yo, what's up, man? How you doing today? EQ, we already have EQ on our Duder. Okay, we're definitely getting Shadow Ball. I have to get Shadow Ball is the reason we came here. The Shadow Ball and put that on our Alakazam. Super, super important. We're going to go ahead and get rid of Disable. Disable actually can be a super good move. Especially if like you're against any sort of like choice star for, you know, choice banded or respects Pokemon. Being able to disable that one move and make them switch out is really nice. Thanks for subscribing, Carl. Alright, but after getting that TM, the Shadow Ball, it was just time to straight up head back, fly back to Saffron City, and work our way up to Sabrina. A really tough fight. Or at least a lot of her trainers leading up to her can be pretty tricky, so you want to be careful, don't lose any Pokemon on the way there. I literally think that everything might just die to Alakazam. I truly think that this might be a super easy fight. I really hope I don't eat those words. Really hope I don't eat those words, but wish me luck, boys. Here we are, leading into the Jinx. Part of me wants to be really greedy and set up an X special here, but I might just be able to one-shot everything anyway, so I'm not going to risk that. So Shadow Ball doesn't quite one-shot the Jinx, so it's 87%. 48% from his Shadow Ball. That sucks. We still just go for our Shadow Ball here. Sabrina does have one Hyper Potion, which is super relevant. So now it's a little scary. Now I need to bring up Showdown Damage Calculator. Now I need to bring up the Damage Calculator, because I didn't one-shot that guy. It's a big deal. The fact that I didn't one-shot him is a big deal. Like, now I don't know if I can, like... Now it's scary, right? Now it's scary. Ball's gonna do around 53 to 64%. So it kills me. Need to get this out of the way. And I don't kill him. I do not kill him. I actually did need to set up an X special for this fight. I messed up. I need to yeah, if Alakazam dies, the run is over, so I need to switch out here. The question is he going to go for a Shadow Ball or a Signal Beam? Part of me really wants to go Snorlax here. If he goes Shadow Ball, it's huge. Run ends here. Stop it, drama. Golem. I don't want to risk Signal Beam. There it is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and heal up. I want to heal up my dude. Do I need a Super Potion or can I or do I have to Hyper Potion? Need around 60. I can just Super, I think. Full HP. I want to be able to bring in... I want to be able to bring... There goes Snorlax. Wow. I mean, I guess I can bring in Alakazam for free here, but didn't expect that. That was crazy. I cannot believe that killed me. Ouch. That one hurt a little bit, not gonna lie. That one hurt my heart a little. That one hurt a little, not gonna lie. Bring an Alakazam here. What if I'm +1 special attack? Can I one-shot him? Yes. Okay. So I think the play here... That sucks, man. Even if he crits, I'm pretty sure I don't die. I'm going to X special here. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Holy God, this is so scary, though, dude. Okay. Oh, like I remember I was saying, GG to the big man, rip Snorlax. I can't believe that Psyshot killed. That was insane. 41. Shuttle Ball always kills. Okay. X items are broken. Damn. Mr. Mime. Man, I made a mistake here. If I had just X specialed turn 1 against Jinx, this fight would have been easy peasy. But I made a huge mistake. I made a huge mistake by not X iteming turn 1. Huge mistake. This thing could live. Let me double check this. Cool, we beat Sabrina. We lost Snorlax in the process. Rest in peace, my friend. We salute you. To a Psyshock. That was crazy. Alright, so we do lose Snorlax to a pretty surprising Psyshock that I just didn't calculate, didn't expect, didn't think would be a factor because Snorlax was so bulky, but that Psyshock did just kill me, so it's because of a huge error mistake on my part, but you know what? That's okay. We do pick up our 6th gym badge, so now all that's left is Blaine and Giovanni, although Blaine is probably the hardest gym leader in all of Kanto. It's actually crazy. His team is insane, and I'm sure we'll get into the details when it comes down to that. But from this point on, I think we just have a ton of grinding to do to prepare for Blaine, and we also have to make our way through a Pokemon Mansion. But first things first, we put these Snorlax in the dead box and mourn it for a quick sec and say rest in peace, my friend. And now, while I had an empty party slot anyway, I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and just revive my fossil and pick up my Ammonite that I got from, obviously, Mount Moon, very early on in the Kanto region. I don't think, at this point, he'll probably become a relevant member of the team. He's level 5, obviously, so super underleveled. I'd have to put a lot of love and work into him to get him into tip-top shape for any sort of team. And then I go ahead and add Slowbro to my team. Since he's level 37, got some decent XP, decent levels on him. And he will help me take on Blaine to at least some extent. Obviously, Blaine is going to have a lot of counters for him, but he is bulky and might be able to let me teleport into some Pokemon to gain that momentum and gain that advantage. Forget it. I know I go upstairs. I think first things first, and then you go upstairs. This is my mansion encounter. I almost totally forgot about that. Okay, I'm glad I remembered as soon as I got the encounter. So this is my Pokemon Mansion encounter. We do get a Growlithe, which is actually a great encounter. Super happy with that. The question is, how do we catch this thing now? Because I totally didn't prepare for this. Modest, not terrible. It's okay. I'll take it. It can be mixed. Modest is fine. It's fine. Go ahead and get our Golem to level 50. Is he level capped here as well? Yes, he is. Alright, so I slowly make my way through Pokemon Mansion. Pretty uneventful. I essentially just work towards all the stupid puzzles to get the key to be able to open up the gym to defeat Blaine. From this point on, I pretty much spend a disgusting amount of time, like I want to say 4 to 6 hours maybe, just sitting here XP trading, preparing for Blaine. I spent so much time XP trading on these tentacles for Blaine and eventually for the Elite Four. It was insane, so you guys will be able to ditch all of that. But I do want to take this time to explain why Blaine is so difficult and to explain why he's actually the most difficult gym leader in all of PokeMMO, when I feel like in traditional Pokemon Fire Red, he's probably the easiest trainer. So while I'm doing this tentacle grinding for so many hours, I wanted to go ahead and explain to you guys why Blaine is so difficult in PokeMMO. And essentially it comes down to Blaine is a fire type gym leader, right? So you think to yourself, let me bring all my water and ground type Pokemon to help me defeat Blaine. Although it turns out Blaine has access to a lot of counters to those things. So for example, his Magmar has access to Wild Charge, a very powerful electric type move, which is going to obliterate those water type Pokemon you bring. His Ninetales has access to Energy Ball, which is a very powerful grass type move, which is going to obliterate those ground and water types that you bring. A lot of them also have access to Will-O-Wisp, which are going to hurt your ground physical attackers a lot of the time. It's going to hurt just a lot of things. Any sort of EQs, any sort of rock slides incoming are going to be halved damage wise, and it's really, really relevant. Fire blasts are just doing massive damage, even if you have not very effective damage. A lot of them have access to extreme speed, Magmar, and Arcanine, both have access to Extreme Speed. Arcanine also has access to Wild Charge. Rapidash has access to Solar Beam with Power Herb, so he doesn't even need to have the sun up, which is a really good thing because he doesn't really have any way to set up the sun unless you're doing gym rebattles, but Power Herb is an item that's going to allow him to get off one Solar Beam in one turn for free instead of having to charge it. He also has access to Close Combat on his Magmar and Arcanine, which is a very powerful move, which is going to hit most things for neutral damage, or maybe hit some Pokemon that you didn't expect to hit for super effective damage. His Magcargo also has Ancient Power, so you have to worry about Omni Boost and play around that. It's just crazy how many tools, like, Blaine's Pokemon probably have the most diverse move pool, the most perfect move pool to deal with the Pokemon you're bringing to answer him, compared to any gym leader in all of PokeMMO. Ninetales having Flash Fire, Magmar having Flame Body is a big deal, Magcargo having Citrus Berry, Ninetales has Pasho Berry, which I believe is the berry that weakens the water type move, but I forget off the top of my head. And then Arcanine having Intimidate and Leftovers. Leftovers is super good sustain for Arcanine. Arcanine's a surprisingly tanky Pokemon when he has access to Intimidate, and when you're also Will-O-Wisp or possibly burned, those EQs are going to be doing no damage to Arcanine, which is really surprising. But yeah, he's just a really, really tough gym leader to take care of normally. You really have to kind of cater and build a team specifically built to conquer him, and that's why Kingdra comes into play really, really hard here. Kingdra is really, really important because as a water dragon type, you're no longer weak to Energy Ball, you're no longer weak to Wild Charge. All of those moves are going to hit you for neutral damage as opposed to super effective, which is a massive, massive deal, right? So you're going to always be able to at least tank maybe one or two of those attacks. So getting Dragon Scale after farming a ton is going to be super, super important for this run. Now, thankfully, to a huge shout out from a viewer, they actually told me you can actually head to the Safari Zone, and now that I have access to Surf, I can surf to the little island in the middle of the Safari, and there's actually a Pokeball just sitting there with a Dragon Scale. So that was a huge relief. This was so, so good for the team and so good for the rest of the run. Giving me access to Kingdra is a game changer. Alright, now from that point on, it was pretty much just days and days and streams of me just farming forever with Discharge with my Magnezone at that Tentacle spot. It was so important for me to level up all of my Pokemon that I needed to defeat Blaine for, to the max obedience level possible. And as you can see me here going for that Kingdra trait evolution, this was also super, super huge. Getting that Dragon Scale, that viewer was huge there. Shout out to Zotzies who helped me trade this. He stuck around for most of the streams and watched throughout a lot of the Nuzlocke, so big shout out to him. Really, really huge getting this Kingdra here. Kingdra ended up being like one of the most important. I don't want to spoil too much, but you guys will see. Wind really came through on a lot of the late game fights. I eventually decided that I was absolutely going to need a Rain Dance TM for my Kingdra, so I went ahead and bought one here and ended up teaching it to him. Rain Dance is just so important, especially for Kingdra to know it specifically because it has access to Swift Swim, and I'm not going to be able to get a Damp Rock anywhere in Kanto, so I'm not going to be able to extend those turns of Rain. So setting up Rain with the Pokemon that's trying to use it is actually super relevant, as opposed to setting up with a Slowbro and then teleporting out. Wasting that extra turn of Rain is super relevant against these later game battles.
About to take on Blaine. We're about to take on the most difficult gym leader in the PokeMMO Nuzlocke. Boys, here we are. We have spent 28 hours farming in the Nuzlocke to get to this point. This is going to be our toughest battle yet. I'm going to try to take it slow. Wish me luck. I'm going to try to ignore chat a little bit because I don't want to get distracted. But I appreciate it. I love you all. Thank you guys for your support. Watch this fight just be giga easy.
Alright, so as you guys can see, Kendra essentially just made the hardest fight in the entire game an absolute cakewalk. It was just so unbelievably easy. It was so stupid. A lot of people said it was one of the most anticlimactic fights of the entire Nuzlocke, which is only fair. But looking back, it's pretty funny. Rain Dance Kendra just countered everything. It was the perfect typing. Like, Dragon Water is just the perfect typing for Blaine. But, like, normally it'd be so tough. So, I was just super lucky that I did pick up that horsey encounter back on that one fishing route. And I'm just super lucky it worked out the way it did. I did prepare, but at the same time, like, I really honestly didn't even need to prepare that much besides just leveling up my Kendra, teaching it Rain Dance and Surf, and that's all you pretty much need. That was definitely a hilarious little bit of a fold over in the Nuzlocke. After Blaine, it's just time to go back to farming to prepare for the Elite Four and prepare for Victory Road. Now, I do get to go ahead and break my Max Obedience XP caps on a lot of my Pokemon, so there's some really satisfying XP gain here. And then I also teach Stone Edge over Rock Blast here on my Golem because the damage increase here is insane. Stone Edge truly is a really, really powerful move. It's going to have, obviously, an equal base power to Rock Blast. If Rock Blast were to hit 4 times, if Rock Blast were to technically hit 5 times, it would do slightly more damage, but the issue is Stone Edge has that high crit rate, so those crit damages, those crit hits can just do so much. The accuracy drop is a little rough, but on average, Stone Edge is just going to be doing so much more, especially when you're considering stab and everything. Stone Edge is just a really, really powerful move for a reason. But then I realized I almost totally forgot about Giovanni. He's usually a pretty easy fight in Kanto, probably one of the easiest gym leaders out of everyone, so I wasn't super worried about it. I did want to go ahead and level up the rest of my Rain team, like my Slowbro and stuff, get them up to around max level cap, and then I should be able to go take on Giovanni pretty swiftly. After battling through a couple of Giovanni's grunts to get to him, as you can see, I had some pretty close fights. Kendra here, 55 HP, Toxic. He's also on like his second or third stage of Toxic, so like one more turn, I think, and I would have had to switch him out, or he might have died. Risking Kendra was really, really scary. It's obviously like my most powerful Pokemon here, and I need it for any sort of E4 strategy to ever work. Alright, we had some close fights, but we finally make our way to Giovanni. And there's actually some really interesting, tough interactions against Giovanni. So, one of the biggest ones is his Dugtrio. Dugtrio is an extremely fast Pokemon. It hits pretty hard, and it has Focus Sash. So, it's a really, really difficult Pokemon to deal with in a Nuzlocke, and it has Arena Trap, right? So, most of the time, Dugtrio is going to kill a Pokemon, so you have to be really, 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 really careful. It's one of the scariest Pokemon to deal with, and I have to face it down in the lead matchup here, so I'm really worried. Can I truly waste a turn setting up Rain, or do I just have to go for that Surf? I do go ahead and decide to go for that Rain because it's so important for me, I feel like, especially because Rain here will let me outspeed the Dugtrio, which is a really big deal. The speed issues here are super huge. Even though I'm level 55, I have 7 levels over this Dugtrio. It's still really tough. So I'm sitting here thinking for a while if I can risk this, because even though I outspeed the Dugtrio now, and I'm going to be able to Surf him and put him down to 1 HP because he has Focus Sash, so I'm not going to be able to kill him, so he will for sure get a guaranteed Earthquake off against me, and if he crits, I lose my Kendra, and I lose the entire run. This is a very, very scary situation, but I don't really have any other options here. I kind of just have to click Surf. If I click Potion, which I think I end up doing, it's actually a misplay, excuse me, because it just gives him an extra chance to hit that crit. It doesn't change any of the numbers. So this was a really, really scary position to be put into. There's no way he'll use Reversal here, right? I feel like my best play... is just to attack. If I lose my Kendra... We're risking it, boys. If I lose my Kendra, it was meant to be. If he Reversals here for no reason, I'll be tilted. Okay, we live to see another day. We actually live it. And now I just finish him off with Surf. Okay. Okay, yeah, that was my thought process. Potion only delays and it costs us Rain turns. There's no reason to Potion. I have to risk the crit. What's up, Destined? Being forced to risk crit against an Arena Trap Pokemon like that is never the situation you want to be in a Nuzlocke. Any sort of Arena Trap Pokemon like Dugtrio are going to be a nightmare, and you have to prepare for them thoroughly. I thought I had prepared enough for this, but even then, his Earthquake was doing way more damage than I expected. Hitting my Kendra for 42% was brutal. Thankfully, I made it through, but wow, that was a really, really tough, close call.
Now, thankfully, Rhyperior has like 10 special defense. Not actually, but pretty much. Pretty paper-thin Pokemon when you hit him with any sort of special attack. So he was pretty easily able to be folded by the Surf Rain. I don't think this thing has Focus Sash either. We're going to Surf it. Yes! I'm low HP. Sitting low HP on my Kindra here does not feel good. Rain goes down. Speed becomes a factor again. I think I just Hyper Potion here. I don't think I'm super scared of... Yeah, Leftovers healing up is really nice here. Okay, 18% with Sludge Bomb. We take those. We take those all day. And I'm just super safe to go ahead and set up Rain again. Yeah, that's fine. Even if this poisons, it's fine. Yeah, Nidoqueen's a little tanky. That's why I'm setting up Rain here, because I don't think I ever kill Nidoqueen outside of Rain with one Surf. I might within Rain. Yes, there we go. I don't think I kill that outside of Rain with one Surf. Never. There's no way. It's pretty bulky. But it absolutely is. Woo! We even did it during JW Tree's lunch break. Oh my god, I didn't kill. Okay, please don't kill me, Nidoking. There's no way this Nidoking ever, there's no way. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. Let's go. The 8th fucking gym badge. The 8th gym badge. In the basically only ever recorded PokeMMO Nuzlocke. That's what we call a fucking Poggers moment, boys.
A Poggers moment indeed, as I shout out JW Tree, who was on his lunch break at the time and said, hey, if you're able to, I would love to see you beat Giovanni before my lunch break ends. And you know what? I said, fuck it. Let's go early, slightly less prepared, and go for it, because it should be a pretty easy fight. So we were able to take down Giovanni for JW Tree on his lunch break. Huge shout out to him. And then we were able to just go ahead and go back to grinding at Tentacle, our favorite spot, and go prepare for Victory Road in the Elite Four finally. Here's what my boxes looked like at this moment, if you were wondering. We had a lot of evolutions happen to get that XP share that I didn't really show. Things like the Gengar, things like the Machamp, the Slowbro, of course. That's obviously become a lot more relevant of a Pokemon. The Gyarados we evolved, but it's been pretty useless. Here I'm kind of looking through and deciding and figuring out my Elite Four team, if you can see here. So at the moment, I picked out things like Slowbro, things like Magnezone, things like Ammonite. I didn't think Ammonite was actually going to be a relevant member of this run, but I actually did pick him out because he worked really well and he had Swift Swim. It fit really well in the team. My Alakazam was level 50, so I really needed to level that up, but the team at the moment for the E4 looked like Golem, Alakazam, Kingdra, Magnezone, Omastar, and then Slowbro. I had a lot of leveling to do, obviously, on that Omanite, it being literally level 5 at the moment. I considered Gyarados for a while, but I think due to its nature and due to its stats, it was just going to be unusable, especially against the Elite Four. I was thinking about maybe switching out Golem here for a while, just because Golem isn't that good against most of the E4. Looking back, he's honestly much better than I remember / expect. He's pretty good against Lorelai. I mean, he hits them for super effective, right, with all of his rock moves, but he takes so much damage and it's pretty scary, especially since a lot of them have access to things like Icicle Spear, which hit multiple times. So the Sturdy is not going to be as helpful there, and I could lose him and just have him die. So it was pretty scary. But I think I made the right decisions overall by the end of things.
So from this point on, it's pretty much just hours and hours and days of many streams of a ton of XP grinding to get every single one of our Pokemon up to level 62 to be able to take on the Elite Four. Although I did try to go around and battle some trainers to acquire some Pokeyen to stock up on any sort of X items, potions, anything I might need, any items I might need to take on the Elite Four. And I did have some close calls, such as this.
One shot? Oh my god, please don't do some... Please, if I lose my Kingdra... Okay, I'm fine. Are you kidding me? If I lose my Kingdra to some dumb shit, I will lose my mind. This shouldn't kill. This is why I never farm on NPCs. I hate it. I hate it. As soon as I don't prepare for one fight, this is what happens. I almost lose my entire run to a random fucking NPC. Like, I did all of this, how much Pokeyen do I get? I did all of that for 880 Pokeyen. Get me the fuck out of here.
Ah, yes, risking the entire run on a stupid NPC battle just for a couple extra 100 Pokeyen. That is the definition of the PokeMMO Nuzlocke Classic. This thing was definitely difficult, as I keep repeating over and over again. So I go back to farming, get a ton of XP, get everything to a max level that I might need, and then I finally work my way over to the route to head to the Elite Four, but I still have one last rival battle. I have to take on Gary one last time when crossing that route.
Oh, I just gotta shake off the nerves and jump into it. Here's the Gary fight, boys. Wish me luck. Okay, we see the Gyarados lead, which is actually like the worst lead. I'm not gonna lie. I think I just hard switch into Magnezone here, because I can't Rain Dance in the face of Gyarados. I think I hard switch Magnezone Discharge, although it's a little scary if he hard switches Rhydon. It's a little scary. Like, part of me really wants to Flash Cannon here. Or, like, Tri Attack. Or I guess Flash Cannon would be the best move. I'm going to Discharge, but I think... Okay, he doesn't... Okay, okay, don't flinch me. He doesn't go Rhydon, which is huge. There we go. Okay. Okay. I was really scared the AI would go Rhydon there. Leafeon comes in. This thing's going to, like, double kick me. I don't think I die. How fast is this thing? I might count this. What's my defense IVs? I'm impish. There's no way double kick ever kills me. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna count it though. Okay, double kick should only do 20 to 24%. Okay, I should be fine. What are my attack damages? So if it crits, it'll do like 35%. It should be fine, even with crit. T-wave this thing, but I doubt it's worth. So, Flash Cannon's gonna do like 88%, it says. Okay. And I don't think I'm gonna be faster. Yeah, he's faster. Okay, no crit. Pretty little damage. It's possible crit KOs me here. Yeah, the IVs on my Magnezone is my best Pokemon, IV-wise. Okay, I'm actually gonna Hyper Potion here. 100%. Oh my goodness, that's fine, that's fine. So I can still kill it from this HP. But he's faster, right? So if he synthesizes again, maybe I should just T-Wave. I can just permanently pressure him with Flash Cannon. I don't care. I don't need a T-Wave. I keep wanting to T-Wave, but I don't really need to. Did we crit, or was that just a high roll? Just a high roll, I think. Or did I get the special defense drop? Oh, I got the special defense drop earlier. Okay, perfect. This thing never kills me. I'm pretty sure. Unless it has Focus Blast or some shit. I guess that's kind of scary. I go for Discharge here always because I have Magnet. If he has Focus Blast, there's a chance I die, I think. Okay, he just Psychics. Okay, he's terrible. Okay, whew. Come on, Gary. What are you doing, my friend? I was really scared he'd have Focus Blast here. I'm pretty sure he has Recover here, so he probably recovers. Yep. I can still just Discharge. If I get a Para on the Discharge, it's huge as well. 79%. 30% chance to Para. If I Para, I'm obviously faster. He's probably recovers again. Yep, okay, we're good. This fight's going very well. We're very over-leveled for it. This should just kill. But it's, I don't know, it's so scary, man. Every big fight, I think especially here at the end, like I'm so close to beating the Nuzlocke. I can literally taste it. Okay. I could go Golem or Kingdra here. Kingdra 4 times resist. I don't think he has any sort of... He has Metal Claw, Flamethrower. I'm gonna go Kingdra. EQ. He had the EQ. That's crazy. I should be safe to set up Rain here. Dragon Claw does a lot of damage there. 30%. I mean, decent amount of damage. 30%. Am I dead to crit? I think leftovers puts me out of crit range. Yeah, leftovers. Yeah. I think if he high rolled and crit me, I would be dead otherwise. Okay, there we go. Huge, 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 huge. Okay, huge, 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 huge. It depends how it goes, Steve. The Nuzlocke could continue for all regions. It could I might redo it as a hardcore Nuzlocke. Like we're just playing it by ear, I think, because it just takes so much time. I just want to play it by ear. I should be safe here. I never die here, right? I think I can Ice Beam, and I don't one-hit KO. There's no way this thing ever kills me, right? Okay, a lot of damage though by a fat return. I'm actually gonna Hyper Potion here. Because you know what I'm scared of? I'm scared of Quick Claw return crit. I don't know if he has Quick Claw. If he has Quick Claw return crit, I die there. And I'm scared of that. Like here I'm out of range and I'm fine. Also, using Hyper Potions is actually getting scary at this point. Because I don't have that much Pokeyen. I'm really going to need a lot of Hyper Potions. Or Max Potions or whatever I can buy for the Elite Four. I'm really going to have to grind some Pokeyen for the Elite Four. Might. Rhydon should just always die to Surf and shouldn't be able to kill me with anything. I'm trying to think though. There's no way this thing ever kills me. Yeah, even if and I don't think. Yeah, I was thinking it has 30, but it doesn't. Okay. Okay, boys. The rival fight on Route 22 has been taken care of. I don't know why that was my most anxious and scary fight yet. Kendra was able to. Kendra and Magnezone. Magnezone's so good. Did a ton of work. This is the victory lap. Oh, look at this beautiful shiny. I've earned this. Each of one of you guys have earned this for watching this live and up until this point. This is the true victory lap of the PokeMMO Nuzlocke. It's beautiful. I also have encounters here if I want to catch Pokemon. I actually don't want to worry about my encounters right now, so I'm actually just going to repel. I don't want to catch anything right now. I just want to have my deserved and earned victory lap. The first ever truly recorded PokeMMO Nuzlocke. All the way through. Will we be able to complete it? I hope so. We've made it this far. And now we take our first step into Victory Road.
I then forgot to record any sort of gameplay at all in Victory Road, but thankfully it wasn't a big deal because it was pretty simple. We got through pretty easily. Literally nothing happened. It was pretty uneventful. I just followed a guide, pushed around some rocks, and got to the end. And now it's time to really start some even more grinding, getting the rest of my Pokemon to 62. I thought I had had them all to 62 at this point, but I just had enough to get Gary. Now I'm going to be here farming at Marowak for the foreseeable future. It was also at this point during the grinding that me and my chat really started planning. We brought up the notepad document. We brought up like 5 different wiki pages on PokeMMO for all the E4 members and the rival fight, trying to strategize, plan turn by turn. And I do want to say that I easily spent over 10 hours just preparing for this fight, not even counting the XP and the leveling. That probably took another maybe 4 to 6 hours, but just in terms of strategizing and thinking and researching, I spent around 10 hours poring over information, poring over everything available to me, all the possibilities, really planning for this fight. And I needed it to go perfect. I needed to make sure that if the nerves hit me during the fight, if I got anxious, if I got nervous, I needed to be able to rely on my notes and rely on my information in my notepad document. Now, I did a ton of strategizing on stream, but I did most of it off stream. But I'll show you guys some clips right now, some of the thought process and some of the important things that we talked about while on stream.
The E4 team is done, which is a crazy feeling. Whew, I do need to... I'm going to put Teleport over Surf, I think. Or over... Man, it's so tough. I feel like I should put it over Slack Off. What's 50% of 235? Like one... My math is 117? 117.5, yeah. So a Hyper Potion is actually just going to heal it more, and it'll heal it first. I think I should teach Teleport over Slack Off, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to do it. I think it's the play, boys. I'm sorry. I think it's the play. If this haunts me, if I regret this, it's my fault. Put Twisted Spoon here. Gets the Ancient Power boost thing, Hardstone. Quick Claw on the on this, I think. Oh, dudes. I don't know. I'm so stressed for that. I'm not even doing the Elite Four this run. Yeah, it's fucking scary, dude. To commit 35, 36 hours to a run and have it fail, man. I'm scared of it happening. Thanks. I'm trying to think what are all of the options? I need to calc everything. If he leads Jinx, I just Flash Cannon it to death. If Jinx, Flash Cannon. I'll just do Jinx equals Flash Cannon. I can two-shot Lapras with T-Bolt. The Jinx was 95.113% to kill. Or I'll just say damage. Lapras is 56 or some shit. What level am I forgetting? 56. Discharge. 74.5 to 89.4%. Kill. Discharge equals discharge. Discharge is 99.4. So there's a 0.6% chance I don't one-shot the Dewgong. If I hit that, I will lose my mind. So far, the toughest time is going to be against Lapras. 107 to 120%. How does it do that much? That seems insane. How is that possible? Why are you so weak, Solo, bro? Magnet. The issue is, like, I can't kill... I don't know if I go Metal Coat or not. I think I might actually go Magnet. I'm not sure. I might go Metal Coat. We'll see. To 74%. Depending on who she lead with, you boost my physical attack and speed. I just don't think I need to do that. I don't think it would help much. Actually, I mean, X speed, yes. That is true. X speeding at the start might be worth. True. Giga true, Lou. Holy fuck, Giga true. Yeah, X speed might be the play. Fence change. Do I want that on Tentacruel? Do I have Magnezones, max DVs? Basically max DVs there. Special defense EVs, there we go.
Now that was a taste, and as you could see, I was constantly rewriting stuff, recalculating stuff. I had to figure out the damages if I used Magnet on my Magnezone. I had to figure them out with Flash Cannon. I had to, factor in X speeds, X items, like were those worth it in certain things. All the speed calcs, as you can see, all the items that come into play. Where Conberry was a big deal to consider. There were so many things. Which Pokemon were a bigger threat? So, for example, Jinx had access to Sweet Kiss, which could confuse me, which would be a big deal. So I had to answer that, or I had to prioritize killing that Pokemon in one shot as opposed to some of the other ones. There was so much to consider, and I spent, as I said, around 10 hours on stream and off stream, factoring in everything, and I rewrote everything many times. I thought that I had T-Bolt on my Magnezone for a sec, but I did have Discharge, stuff like that. There was just so much to factor in. So after many hours of grinding, many hours of preparation, it was finally time to take on the Elite Four after our 35-hour journey to this point.
Be tough. Keeping the nerves calm is literally going to be one of the most difficult things today. So let me go ahead and pop up the notepad document and show you guys the plan. Look at all this information, boys. That's just for Lorelai and Bruno. Metal Coat with Magnezone because it allows me to one-shot the Jinx better. I'll have a little more issues with Dewgong and stuff along the way. Slowbro I can't one-shot anyway. I have to two-shot because of Wakanberry, post-Wakan, as you can see. It's going to be a lot. I'm looking for... So Lorelai... Yeah, Lorelai, the main TLDR is that... I spent a lot of time on this, dudes. I have a TLDR down here. So the TLDR is that on Lorelai, I want to set up X Speed and X Special on Magnezone and lead Magnezone and sweep with that. Bruno, I'm going to be leading Slowbro, set up Rain and do as much damage as I possibly can. I have to be aware of Hitmonchan, Thunder Punch, Kingdra. The next three battles are essentially set up X Special and Rain and then sweep. I have to be aware of certain things though. Omastar is a good backup here. Dragonite Dracos will fuck me here. I have to play against that. The White Herb Drake, he can spam 2 Dracos in a row, and it's gonna be insane. That'll obliterate my Kingdra. It'll be scary. The easiest fight might be Lance. Like, literally for Lance, I wrote Kingdra Go Burr. Like, Lance will probably be the easiest fight. Except for Dragonite. Like, Lance should be a pretty easy fight, but the Dragonite Dracos are scary. That's the main meme. But I just don't... Like, I calc so much, like, stuff against Agatha to see if I could lead Alec. I think I have to lead Kingdra against Agatha. It's so weird. I think that's going to be the play. We've spent 37 hours getting to this point. Much grinding. Much shooting shit with the chat. A couple deaths along the way. We had lost comrades, fellas. Snorlax, Snubble, Butterfree, who carried us through so much early game. And then the pivotal Zubat, who I wanted to be a pivotal part of the team, and Crobat late game. Those guys will not be forgotten today, as we will avenge them and take on the Elite Four in PokeMMO. The first ever, hopefully, recorded, completed PokeMMO Nuzlocke. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to be taking on Lorelai first. Depending on what she leads, we'll decide our action. Good luck. She goes Cloyster. Okay. Now, Cloyster is pretty good for us, I believe. Icicle Spear, Surf. I should be pretty safe here. An X Special / X Speed. So I'm going to do an X Speed first. Add up. Surf does 24%. Not worried. X Special. Oh, we're on the... It's over here, guys. Okay. X Special on the Magnezone. Alright. And now I will even play it safer. I will go ahead and Super Hyper Potion. I will go ahead and Hyper Potion. So I'll be down to 75% HP or so after the Surf. I can discharge this thing and do 1,000,000 damage. Absolutely obliterated. What? Oh, I even crit. I think I just did like literally 400. I think I just killed 4 or 5 of those Cloysters. Something. Actually, that's without the X Special. I literally just killed 6 of those Cloysters. Alright, Lapras. What do I do against Lapras? Discharge is going to be my best bet. Am I scared of any sort of oncoming attack? Surf's going to do the most damage. I don't think I'm in crit Surf range. We just kill. We just kill. Oh, that helps us sweep here, boys. Slowbro comes in. Slowbro has Wakan Berry. The play should still always be discharge. We kill it through Wakan. I need to see this. Oh my god, we crit. We crit through the Wakan. That actually matters. We would have had to tank a hit there. We would have had to tank a hit there. We always just discharge this. Okay. Easy Lorelai battle. We had a good lead. We had a good lead into the Cloyster. I think the Cloyster lead was actually the best possible lead. Yes. Lorelai leading Cloyster was literally best case scenario. So a good, lucky start there, boys. I'm not gonna lie. A lucky start there. Scariest lead. The worst case scenario is he leads Hitmonchan. Thunder Punch Hitmonchan will be an issue. Hitmonlee. We can work with that. Okay, Hitmonlee has no item. It has Fake Out, though, so he's probably going to Fake Out here. If he's going to Fake Out me anyway, I can go ahead and use an X item. Because I believe he Fake Outs me here. Yes. Okay. Abusing the AI, boys. That's what we're talking about. I did not expect that. I don't think I'm going to need Rain Up. Now that I'm X-Specialed, I'm not going to waste a turn on Rain. It's absolutely not worth the turn. I'd rather just get off damage now. Psychic's going to come through and obliterate this thing. Now, this Steelix has Explosion. I'm pretty sure. It has Custap Berry, which is the scariest, the real scary part. I think it also might have Sturdy. I just go ahead and Surf here. We actually do outspeed it, which is relevant. I don't think he should be able to one-shot me here with anything. Earthquake does 24%. Worth to go ahead and Potion here. Oh yeah, he's gonna Custap me. Yeah, I heal here. I always Hyper Potion here because he can Custap Explode or some dumb shit. Earthquake. Is that a crit? Okay. We tank a crit. Heal on the crit. Easy peasy. What's my HP? 161. If I were to use a super, it would put me to what? 220 HP essentially. Hypering to play it a little safe. The question is, I don't know if I can tank a Thunder Punch from this thing. I have to calc it. Okay, it does way less damage than I expected. I'll take that. I think that might be a crit. No, just kidding. Okay, I calced it wrong then somehow. Okay, that's okay though. We still live. We're fine. We're fine. I still have to play around crit range. Machamp. Now, this thing has Dynamic Punch, but I don't think it goes for it here, right? It probably goes for Mega Kick or something. Machamp. I need to calc again. Guard, so he will always hit his Dynamic Punch. What's his last Pokemon that I haven't seen? Poliwrath. Poliwrath. Okay, I think I go for the Psychic here and tank whatever he throws out. Yeah, okay, we're fine. As long as, I don't get hit myself in confusion. As long as I don't hit myself in confusion. Okay, now we have to be a little, now we all have the potion coming up. Thank you, Research Bear. This thing has Waterfall, Ice Beam. I don't think it has any way to, like, destroy me. Yeah, superpower. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I'm Ross? Fuck, wait, that's really funny. Okay, gotcha. Ross Bailey, the king. Bruno defeated. 2 out of 5 down. We still have probably one of the scariest battles up next. Agatha is a tough one. Thank you for the good lucks. Thank you for the support, chat. 2 down. It's actually crazy. This thing has insane coverage. This thing has Poison Jab, Crunch, Rock Slide, EQ. We should be mostly fine against it. I think I just go for the X special into the Rain Dance. And I hope to not get poisoned here with Poison Jab. That would put me in a tough situation. Okay, dodge the first one. I can still get poisoned here on the second one. It's a good chance. Wow, really good luck. We dodged 2 30%. Really good luck. Really, really, really good luck there. I'm not going to... I have to serve here. I'm not going to heal here. I can't heal there. I can't risk the... Because if I heal, I gain some HP, but I risk the poison. I want to be able to heal against something else if possible, but we will see. Gengar comes in. I don't remember if this thing dies to... That's not 95, like on the calculator. I've got to change that. It looks like Surf should kill. It looks like Surf should always kill here. Yes, beautiful. Gotta run those calcs, though. Gengar has a lot of things. The Gengar has Focus Blast, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt. Does this thing outspeed me? Even in rain? 108 to 2, whatever. Crobat. Special attack, IV 10. As long as I outspeed, I'm pretty sure I should be able to kill it. Okay, I should outspeed. I think Surf actually does more damage. Surf actually does more damage there because of being in rain plus stab. This thing should be pretty free. Pretty sure Weezing is a defense wall. Should fold to any sort of special defense attack. I don't think it ever kills me. I should be safe to surf this. Yep. We've got to play it smart, boys. Like, I know it looks easy, but we've literally spent 38 hours just to get here. Just to get here. I am taking it so slow. Taking it so, you know, I'm trying to play it as smart as possible, boys. Now, this thing has Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp, Thunderbolts. I should be safe to... I think I just surf. I don't think I go for the rain. Maybe I do. I just go for the surf here. He Will-O-Wisp. He is faster. Surf doesn't KO. I probably should have gone for rain, because then I can rain. Yeah, rain would have been the better play. Slightly. But I should be fine. Shadow Ball or Thunderbolt shouldn't kill me. I should be fine here. Yep, we're good. Okay, we're on to Lance, boys. Moving on to Lance. Kingdra Go Burr. Getting the Horsey for this run was so important in so many aspects. I think Kingdra and Magnezone are like tied for MVP of the run. Scariest lead. The thing that I'm the most terrified of is Kingdra. If he goes Kingdra, or sorry, excuse me, Dragonite. If he leads a Dragonite here, I'm in trouble. If he leads Dragonite here, I'm in trouble. Aerodactyl. We should be mostly safe. He's gonna Sky Attack me here. Always. Just X Special? Do I need to X Special for this fight? Yeah. X Special. I should be safe here. Sky Attack. It's gonna do a lot of damage. I think it's like 50% or so. He misses! What the fuck? What is Sky Attack's accuracy? I didn't even know that attack could miss. Damn, has been fucking insane. The leads, the miss. Oh my god. 90% accuracy. I think that just allows me to fucking steamroll this guy. This is going to be the definition of Kingdra. He double misses? 90% accuracy moves back to back. Okay, yeah, I'm just Giga lucky, boys. I'm just always lucky. It's not very exciting, but it's fun. Nah. Yeah, the 201 Pokeyen to my name. Nice dodges. Yeah, that was pretty insanely lucky. 2%. I shouldn't be too scared of anything. He has Power Whip, Aqua Tail, Power 33%. I'm fine. Absolutely, positively fine. I still need to be careful. I still can't get crazy because I need my Kingdra for the next fight. That's the scary thing about this run, is if I lose one of my core Pokemon, if I lose Kingdra, if I lose Magnezone, if I lose Slowbro, it very well could be lost. Very, very well could be lost in a heartbeat. That's like the beauty of the PokeMMO Nuzlocke, is that it looks so easy until shit hits the fan. And then as soon as one mistake is made, or as soon as one scary thing happens, you could just lose the entire run in a heartbeat. Now, this is a little scary. I'm going to go for the Rain Dance here. He Dragon Pulses me, doing 39%. I was scared of Air Slash crit here. Now, I'm always safe to Surf here. This should always kill. What's his last Pokemon? His last Pokemon is a Kingdra. His last Pokemon is his own Kingdra. Now, I can't one-shot this Kingdra. I should calc. I need to calc it. Don't be stupid. Calc this. 'Cause I cannot risk losing my Kingdra. He is definitely faster than me. Okay, I one-shot him with Dragon Pulse. The issue is, does he one-shot me as well, or kill me? Yes, he kills me. I'm 1000% in crit range. He almost even kills. Oh, wow. Well, I think do I have to risk the crit here? I think there's no other play. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. 45 to 55. So Hyper Potion is going to be healing. No, I'm stupid. I Hyper Potion here. I was thinking about Slowbro. So the reason was I was worried that Hyper Potion would only heal me 50%, but Hyper Potion heals me more than 50%. The issue is I'm never escaping crit range. I'm always going to be in crit range. I have to pulse here. Okay, he doesn't kill. I literally have to risk this. Kingdra hangs on. We dodge the crits, boys. I even make a misplay and just risk the crit. That was a bad play to Potion there. It gives him another chance to crit. 100 viewers, boys. Thank you all for being here. You're probably right. I probably could have switched to a different Pokemon. But you know what? We never switch here. Come on, boys. It's the last one. It's the rival. It's Gary. He leads Charizard. What can that do to me? I've got to bring up the wiki page, boys. This Charizard is going to have Hurricane and Blast Burn. So I assume he definitely Hurricanes me. I'm going to go ahead and go for the X Special. Should be pretty safe here. Hurricane Confused crit or some shit would be scary. I'm also going to be giving him 100% accuracy Hurricane in the rain. Maybe I don't throw up Rain Dance yet. Maybe I go ahead and Surf here. Because I think I'm... Well, no, I'm not faster. There's no way I'm faster than this guy. There's no way. There's no way. Not with Sassy. Oh, I have to Rain Dance here. He crit. He crit. He crit. Huge crit. Huge crit for him. Huge crit. Huge crit. Don't confuse as well. Okay, no confuse at least. Do I Surf here or do I heal? I think I Surf. To one shot? Yeah, I Surf. 100%. I Surf. He has no priority. I Surf to kill him. I need to look to heal soon, though. Holy shit. I can't risk the confuse chance from this goofy-ass music coming on. I can't risk the confuse chance. Oh. Gyarados comes in. This thing has Aqua Tail Crunch, Citrus Berry. Now I go for the heal. Hyper Potion. He shouldn't have D-Dance, I believe. 23% from Crunch. We take those all day. Now, what does the most damage to this thing? What does the most damage to this Gyarados? In this setting. I need to calc. Whip out the calculations, boys. Wait, I need to calc. Wait, no, I need to calc. In rain. +2 special attack. Correct. Okay, yeah, Dragon Pulse. This also shouldn't proc his Citrus. I think that's a low roll. That's a... Oh, that's lower than I expected, actually. I must have calced something wrong. I Dragon Pulse again and hope it KOs. We do! Okay, we do get the KO. Huge KO there, huge KO there, huge KO there. Alakazam, dude. Alakazam, dude. Is Rain still up? Rain went down. That's so bad. Rain going down is so bad there. This thing has Focus Sash, which is so annoying. Level 56. Dude, this is actually such a bad scenario to be in. Rain Dance here. Yeah, there's the 30% Psychic. Now I'm faster. It has Focus Sash. I have to heal here, because I'm in crit range. If I were to Surf here just to kill this thing, it could Psychic crit me and kill me. I have to heal here. There's been a lot of crits being thrown back and forth. That's the highest roll possible for that Psychic. 33.5%. The highest roll possible. We proc the Focus Sash here. I'm also losing rain turns with this, so it's a little scary. Are you kidding me? Back-to-back max rolls? I should be faster. I just Surf here. Get Alakazam out of here. I feel like another Pokemon would be easier to set up against. To heal up against. Have Leafeon left. Pidgeot, Rhyperior, Leafeon. Yeah, Pidgeot, Rhyperior, Leafeon. These might be the 3 easiest Pokemon to get through. This thing doesn't have Sturdy. I just always Surf this and one-shot it. Shouldn't have Focus Sash. We're so close, boys. We're actually so close. Leafeon has Grass Gem. I probably die to Leaf Blade. As I take neutral, I probably die to stab Leaf Blade Grass Gem from this HP. I Hyper Potion here. I'm wasting his Grass Gem here. This might do like 60 to 70%. 84! Crit! So glad I potioned. Holy shit. 84.4, boys. I think I Energy Root here. Right now is the best time. We Energy Root, boys. The Grass Gem stab crit. There we go. What's his last Pokemon? Am I faster than it? Pidgeot. No, I need to have Rain here. I actually need Rain to be faster than this and his Pidgeot. Deathless E4, come on. That's if I remember correctly. It definitely should. This thing has a really bad special defense stat. We're so close, dudes. We're so close, so close, so close. I think I outspeed in Rain. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, boys. 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 Make me the fucking Pokemon League champion, boys. The Nuzlocke completed the 38-hour journey. The 38-hour journey. We've been streaming this for so long. Professor Oak coming in to congratulate me. The first recorded, completed PokeMMO Nuzlocke. Holy shit, Green Cat Kid. Wow, Green Cat, you're fucking crazy. And you'll be remembered forever for your generosity. Holy shit, your generosity and bravery today. Green Cat Kid has been watching this journey from like episode fucking 1. He actually gave me good advice. He didn't backseat. He just gave me good advice in the chat, boys. Aim to be like Green Cat Kid. An absolute talented Chad and gamer alike who cheered on the Nuzlocke from day 1. Pokemon League champion. There it is. Dude, what a fucking journey. What a rush, boys. 35k Pokeyen to the name. Every dime, every hour, every second. I spent my entire morning shower theorizing and planning how I was going to take on Lorelai and how the run was going to go today. It may have seemed easy, boys, but it only seemed that way through so many hours of grinding and preparation. I truly put my all into this and just spent every second I had into this run and into this journey, and I hope it was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.
Alright, it's pretty clear that there was a lot of emotions going on with me right now at this time after defeating this, and I just wanted to say thank you all for watching this video. Thank you to everyone who joined me in my live streaming journey. I really, really appreciate every second. For those who spent like the majority of, if not the entire journey with me on stream, like that just means the world to me. I think the most obviously, you know, very cliche, but the most important resource in life is time. And for you guys to spend your time with me, I hope it's well spent. I hope you look back on it with enjoyment and pleasure, and I just truly, truly cherish that, and I want you guys to know that. I do want to say that there was a surprising amount of negative feedback from this run at times that I had to fight through. And I bring that up because I want to say thank you to those who gave the positive feedback. Thank you to those who didn't backseat. Thank you to those who didn't complain about items after I made it clear that items were going to be allowed in this run and that X items were going to be allowed. It's possible that in the future I carry on this account into other regions, or it's possible I start a different account. I try to do a hardcore Nuzlocke, but I made it very clear that X items and items were going to be allowed in this run, and it wasn't going to be a hardcore Nuzlocke. due to the difficulty of this Nuzlocke and due to the uncertainty of this Nuzlocke. A lot of this was uncharted waters. I calced this, I scouted so much of this myself, and it was a lot of hard work, but I want to avoid the negativity, and I just want to cherish and say thank you to the positivity. So thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe for daily PokeMMO content, check out the Discord link down below, and then if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for $5 a month, dropping a Twitch Prime or a Twitch sub over on my Twitch, or maybe throwing some extra dollars, some extra change in my PayPal or Venmo, which are linked down below, if you want to, if you find that warranted. Only do that if you want to, and if you find that I've given you enough hours of entertainment or helped your PokeMMO journey enough. I appreciate you guys. Every single day I get to wake up and play this game that I've loved for so long that I never thought, like, it's such a niche game that you never think this is going to be a way that you can live, right? Make a living. Like, I played this game out of pure passion and enjoyment for so many years, and to one day be able to turn that into, a financial outcome and to be able to live off of that is just nothing short of a miracle. And thank you guys for that. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much again. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I encourage you guys to try out a PokeMMO Nuzlocke. I will see you guys later. Peace and love from Patrouski.
Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and first things first, I want to say thank you for watching the video until the very end. Secondly, I want to say thank you to all the names on screen right now. This clip is used to say thank you so much to all my YouTube members, Twitch subscribers, and everyone who goes above and beyond and supports the channel and allows me to wake up every morning and make PokeMMO videos for you guys. Thank you so much, and have a great day.